Blizzard King. You're now rocking with Uncle D. Blizzard King. You're now rocking with Uncle D. Hit subscribe.
Subscribe to my guy, Uncle D. Tell him Big Bass sent you.
Dennis Quillen. I'm an attorney here in Houston, Texas. An advocate for black men, largely because I am a black man. I'm a black father. I have black sons. Hey, man, I do what I do.
It's a party going on, we all looking at Dennis. Spurling and subscribing, only take you a minute. Hit the cash app, super chat, be a penny. One is real good, but 20 more will be plenty. Blizzard King pay a visit, Big Bass my witness. Appreciate the love, that's black men doing business. Stand up, father and brother, lawyer is he. Hall of Fame game, he's known as Uncle D. Tell it just I be, representing for we. We know time is money, you learning and pay a fee. Know it's cold outside, but the podcast hot. Giving you a feeling that these others ain't got. Say it's cold outside, but the podcast hot. Giving you a feeling that these others ain't got. Yeah, know that the blizzard come through. Bundle up for the winner, know this it. Darren Hay watch, views. Hit the light, you know that the blizzard come through. Bundle up for the winner, know this it. Darren Hay watch, views. Hit the light.
We still look at all the beautiful music that we've created. That's what's on the inside of us. We are wonderful people.
You young men were willing to compromise your masculinity. Like, we weren't willing to compromise our masculinity. We wanted to be men. We wanted to be strong. We wanted to have our own cars. We wanted to have our own places. We wanted to have everything that was. We act tough. We talk tough. We walk tough. And so you had to be tough. But a lot of you young guys say, nah, I don't want to be tough. I want to paint my fingernails. All right? You know, I don't want to be tough. I'm going to go pretend like I'm one of them off-brand dudes in the Rainbow Coalition. That's on you.
The only people that continue to marry you guys is us, black men.
Dennis Burley.
A lot of men like women, but they don't like feminine energy.
The only black man in this space that been giving you. We men, be men, yeah, be masculine. From boys to men, salute, be masculine. Stepdaddies, they get stepped on, just ask the men. I'm the last to open the box, be masculine. His daddy was locked up, he been in jail. Mama, she put him there. Only son, he in a cell. Got his hair braided so long, painted fingernails. Mama drama never grew up to be a male. Arguing, cussing, she back at me. Argumentative, oh now calling me sassy. She ain't got a man ever since she left Pappy. Negative energy, all of these women happy. But on the positive, can't leave her natural hair nappy. She really hate herself, that's why she always snapping. Notice how masculine all of the women rapping. Really wanna be us, cheeks out here clapping. Racing to the court, money trying just to extort him. Running to the clinic when it's time to abort him. Hypocritical killer, these children ain't orphans. Faking feminine, pay for the coffin. Fetus after fetus is generational offering. Be masculine, we men, be men, yeah, be masculine. From boys to men, be masculine.
Wake up!
You are making those black men have a level of disdain that they never thought that they would have. Black women still running around there thinking that there's more black men in prison than black men in college. Fuck all y'all.
I knew her since the 5th grade. Nice guy, she curved, said he was bitch made. Now that bitch so cold, she like a switchblade. She don't answer the note, and she big babe. She big back, she big broke, that's big facts. Throat goat, her boat float for big sacks. Light skin, she so lit for big black. BBC to BBL, she BBD. When man time. And tell your daughter to get her ass out the man line. Make that appointment, stop showing your tan line. Use your heart, but that is just a landmine. I hood dead black women wearing the Klan hoods. Over 22 million Planned Parenthood. If you don't love the babies, how you gon' love me? Ain't no love, that's why she charging the love fee. She talking Brad, you kiss my ass, I'm thug free. Most beautiful women are looking ugly. Not missing the beat, we make the game different. Change lives and all it took was a plane ticket. We on the beach, you for the streets, we aim different. Stalking us down overseas, them dames different. You having babies, so please just leave me alone. Your body, your choice, you chose the funeral home. We chose Brazil, Thailand, somewhere in Guam. Something you can't understand, that's on my arm. No need to calm down, keep with the killer charm. Buy a dog and die alone, you know the song.
Stop listening to people telling you need to be in contact with your emotions and express your emotions and all that. Sometimes you need to be stoic. Sometimes you just need to deal with it.
We men be men, yeah, be masculine. From boys to men, we masculine. Step daddies, they get stepped on, just ask the men. I'm the last to open the box, be masculine. We men be men, yeah, be masculine. From boys to men, salute, be masculine. Step daddies, they get stepped on, just ask the men. I'm the last to open the box, be masculine.
That's what life's supposed to be like. All that shit that we was sold in America, you gotta get your credit score up, bro. You gotta get your credit score. Ain't no such thing as credit score down here. Ain't no such thing as three times the rent down here. Ain't no such thing as let me see your job. What your job paying down here? Ain't no such thing as, you know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, you need a car down here. You don't need no car. $3,000 just to stay in a motherfucking box. Nigga, I stay $700 USD. You know what I'm saying? My electricity is like $20. Nigga, my wife. You know what I'm saying? This is how living an American dream is supposed to be. It's outside of America. America, we got a lot of opportunities, but it's like, nigga, you make $10,000, but your bill's $9,500. So who really winning? You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be able to enjoy our lives, enjoy the fruits of our labor. A lot of people ain't enjoying the fruits of their labor. A lot of motherfuckers is working every single day.
What's up, baby? Yeah. What's up? Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to Big Bass Life. Welcome back to the broadcast. My man, Barry Little, came through hot and heavy. First person to contribute to the super chat. Good looking out, brother. Good looking out. This is the bubbly happy Uncle D. Shout out to all my folks, man, in the membership. Who we got up in here, man? We got my man Pooh Man 313. Thank you. He also in the Wrench Mob. Who else we got up in here? We got golly, I gotta make sure I give a shout out to all my members. All I need is 13 more members, okay? And we will be at 200 members, okay? So if you guys will do me the pleasure of I got to get my little handkerchief fixed. All right, if you all would do me the pleasure of becoming a member, I would certainly appreciate that. I thank you guys so much, Mr. 43TX, Red Sigma, all my guys, Devin Townsend. Who else we got? Charles Holman. All right, I got to give love to my members. Now, look, if I'm gonna tell you my members before I announce myself. You understand me? Because the members make it happen. Who else we got? Barry Little. Did I get you in there? TIQS, Mark the Freelancer, all my guys. Of course, I already got Barry Little for the first person. Who else we got up in here? Mark the Free. I think I'm reading people. Hootsy, yeah. And of course, big shout out to the Wrench Mob. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. I want to give an acknowledgement to Barry Little, Depress, and TIQS. Thank you all for your cash apps. Man, oh man, I am Dennis Sperling, also known as the Blizzard King, because I speak the cold, hard truth, whether you like it or not. And you know, that's what I feel is necessary for, number one, because people like to hear the truth. They might not like how it sounds, but you have longevity when you speak the truth to people. And I'm going to speak the truth to my foundational Black American brothers and sisters. And I'm going to continue speaking the truth, not just to them, but on behalf of them, and go off and make sure our story is told and narrated by us
not others. Okay. Now, that being the case, everybody is welcome. I thank you guys so much. We got all these pretty ladies. Look. Thank you, the ladies. It's good to see the ladies up in here. I'm glad that we got men and women in this chat room. So the title of this broadcast, okay, I know it's very provocative. Did you guys see the thumbnail? Less GloRilla, more cooking with Kaya, no more gender war. And the reason that I think it is appropriate to have this conversation right now is because of the political climate, okay? And for far too long, family, all right, far too long, mainstream media, Hollywood, and pop culture, they've dictated a narrative about Black men as failures and glorifying dysfunction and fueling division in our communities, making our women not proud of us, okay? They tell Black women they didn't need us, okay? They told Black men fatherhood didn't matter. They push chaos, they push hypersexuality and reckless behavior as empowerment on Black women, all the while profiting from our mutual destruction, okay? But see, here's the thing. We have reached a level of political sophistication, and that was signified by the fact that many Black people are beginning to think for themselves, especially when it comes to, let's say, leaving the Democratic Party or even making a conscious decision to vote Democrat, either way, okay, or even sitting on the couch, okay? So what I'm saying is that era of the gender war where we could be gassed up to fight each other, it's over. Okay? The gender war, as far as I'm concerned, is dead. Black men are done engaging in a fight that was never ours in the first place. All right? The gender war was a manufactured distraction. It was a system designed to pit us against each other while our families and communities suffered. But now, as economic realities shift, corporate America turns its back, and the false promises of independence crumble, the truth is becoming clear, and we need each other, okay? And I mean that from the very bottom of my ice cold hearted heart. We need each other. We need each other now more than we needed each other back in the civil rights movement. Now, what am I talking? What do you mean? What you mean, Uncle D? What I mean is, at this point, we actually have something to lose. Now, let me run some stats by you all. Did you know that Black women are the most enrolled group of people in university right now? Do you know they have the highest per capita number of entrepreneurs right now? Did you know that Black men, your very same Black men, okay, us dusty Black men. Shout out to all the dusty Black men. Somebody type dusty in the chat room. Us dusty Black men, specifically middle-aged Black men. That's about 30, 35. By the time we reach middle age, we have ascended to the middle class, whether it's because we joined the military, because we blue collar job, education, whatever. Okay, by the time we reach middle age, we are either 60% of us have reached middle class, upper middle class, or rich. See, in the 1960s, fresh out of the plantation and the agrarian societies, 60% of us were below the poverty line. Now the opposite is true. 60% of us have reached the middle class. And that last 40%, you got to understand, that's old people and children. Okay? So for the most part, or students. So most of us are either up or we coming up. So we actually have something to lose now. And so we need to not engage in a fight that was never ours. Okay? The gender war, as I said, it was a distraction. It was meant to pit us against each other. And now that these economic realities are beginning to shift, right? The false promises, the independence, all that's crumbling. Things are becoming clear. And again, we need each other. So my broadcast tonight entitled Less GloRilla, More Cooking with Kaya. Not that there's anything wrong with GloRilla, because you need a turn up girl. You know, you need somebody who can get it, right? You need that too, but you also need some more cooking with Kaya with that. And basically what I'm saying is you need the sexy girl who throws caution to the wind, but you also need a woman with some traditional values. And what's happening right now is the culture is shifting real time. Black men made it clear. We respect women who embrace their natural roles. And that's why you have content creators like Cooking with Kaya Renee. They're blowing up, not just because of the food, but because she embodies, and like many of her, they embody the very things Black men and all men have actually valued: femininity, fun, and family-oriented energy. And meanwhile, the media is still trying to push this glorification of ratchet behavior and is losing its grip. Black women are not down with that anymore. The vast majority of Black women are tired of seeing ratchet representation on the internet. You ask them, they will tell you it's fun, it had its time, there's a time and a place for that, but not so much anymore. And they will tell you that, okay? And you will see that Black women are becoming a lot more conservative. I mean, they actually already were, okay? But the media, this mainstream media, this modern media, has still been trying to push that, but we're not the same people we were, okay? So reclaiming leadership, family, community, and that's what we need to do. And it's got to be enough with the dysfunction, enough with the division, and Black brothers, we need to choose leadership over chaos. Okay, we need to focus on building strong men, strong families. We need to support each other. Okay, and we need to prepare for what's next, because it is coming. I just want you all to know that. Right now, they're dealing with the Latinos and the Asians and the immigrants and the African immigrants. But like I say, we're not next. We were first. Okay, we were first. You see what I'm saying? We are first and always. So, the system profits from division, and we're not going to play this game anymore. All right. So, no more gender war. And it's not me telling you. What I'm telling you is that the environment is changing, and we're not going to go for the manipulation. And it's time to lead. It's time to rebuild. It's time to win. All right. Now, that being the case, for the past 60 years, we watched as largely Black men have been painted as villains of our own story. Our voices have been silenced, and our struggles largely ignored. And for decades, the media would put Black women on TV, right, and provided them with the monopoly on grievance, meaning they had unquestioned access to mainstream media, daytime talk shows, books, movies, television, magazines, and they were able to voice their frustrations, not just with society, but also specifically with Black men, be it their fathers and also their relationships with their men. Okay. Now, we want to talk about daytime talk shows, right? I mean, this is where the Black male bashing began. Okay, from the 1980s to the 2000s, you had daytime television, and it became the main battleground where Black men were demonized. And this made Black women say, ugh, right? Like, ugh. Because you had talk shows, they created the deadbeat Black father stereotype, even though the vast majority of those women actually had men in their lives, be it a stepdad, be it a father. But, they kind of, the media kind of just points out the bad ones because they need the sensationalism. Shout out to Johnny Harris. And so they push the whole Black man ain't SHI doop, doop, doop narrative, right? Black men ain't hockey pucky. We'll try that word, right? And so it framed Black women as long-suffering victims of male failure. And we talk about Oprah Winfrey from 1986 to when did it stop running? 2011, was it? I mean, her show premiered, and it became like the most influential talk show in history. And from the 1990s to the 2000s, Oprah she amplified these stories of absent black men and unfaithful black men and just all around bad black men. And she rarely showcased any positive portrayals of black fathers, husbands, or role models. And so people realized there was money to be made from that level of sensationalism. And in the minute you begin to make money on something, then the corporate media gets behind it. So shortly thereafter, in 1993, there was a show called The Ricky Lake Show. And it had a paternity test segment. And it painted black men as irresponsible. It exploited the whole baby mama versus baby daddy trope. That's what blew that term up. And it created a spectacle of the black family, and it made it seem as though the black family was dysfunctional. And then, of course, you had Montel Williams, okay? So Kamala Harris's ex-old man, and his show ran from 1991 to 2008. So I just want you to see it was back to back to back to back. And though he himself was a black man, his show followed the same formula, highlighting black men, okay, as supposed failures while rarely even addressing the systematic issues that led to the struggles. I mean, nobody ever talked about racism. Nobody ever talked about the fact that a lot of black men were dealing with the war on drugs. A lot of black men were coming home from Vietnam, and they had to deal with the issues associated with post-traumatic stress and drug addiction. They never gave another side. And so, you know, that's what it led to. And then, of course, we all know Maury Povich. Most of you watched Maury Povich from 1991 to 2022. It introduced the paternity test as entertainment. And you know, and it created this infamous "you are not the father" meme. And it basically turned the destruction of black family into a national joke. And these shows, they normalized the idea that black men were failures, the damage to black male, the damage to our black male identity. It was deep and it was long lasting. And that's just the TV. We haven't even brought up Terry McMillan. Her movie Waiting to Exhale came out in 1992. How Stella Got Her Groove Back in 1996. And if you want to look at Waiting to Exhale, it was a book published and it became like a cultural phenomenon. It sold 3 million copies. And then it was adapted to this blockbuster movie that came out in 1995. And that book cemented the ain't SH poopy crap black men trope. And it portrayed black men as cheaters, as liars, as emotionally unavailable failures. How Stella Got Her Groove Back. That movie came out in 1996. I remember seeing it, okay? And it further pushed the narrative that black women needed to go look elsewhere, okay? Even to have, in that move, Stella actually went down to Jamaica and got her a young man of Jamaican descent, you know, for love and fulfillment. And then a lot of the ladies probably know about this show called Zane's Erotic Fiction Boom. And you ladies, maybe your mother saw that. Some of you ladies might have been checking that out. And so from 1997 to 2010, Zane's book started with shout out to Penny Ford. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate you. But these books, they started with the Sex Chronicles, right? And it fueled the narrative that black women were basically, that they needed to prioritize sexual liberation over relationships. And her literature focused on black women's desires. And black men were just kind of depicted as controlling, abusive, and disposable. The ladies know about these books. You guys probably don't know about it, but the ladies know about this. And, you know, and then, of course, you got Steve Harvey, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. You guys remember that? That came out in 2009. It was marketed as relationship advice, and it pushed the idea that black women needed to train black men to be marriage worthy. And they turned that into a movie in 2012, and it just reinforced the same rhetoric. And so for decades, even black literature and self-help books overwhelmingly blame black men for the struggles of black women. Nothing be said about this government that we have and this racist system that we've been dealing with for hundreds of years. None of that, right? Just blame black men, right? No, nothing else outside, okay? And then, oh my God, the movies. I'm going to say from about 1980 to 2010, they pushed the idea that Black women were victims of Black male failure, and while elevating the strong, independent Black woman trope. This is what the media did. I need you guys. You guys think you think like this because you have these independent thoughts, but this is the programming. The Color Purple in 1995. Most of you all were in your formative years, right? And this book was based on Alice Walker's novel from 1982. It starred Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey. And the movie reinforced the image that the abusive, cruel, irresponsible Black man, right? Danny Glover's character was Mr. Somebody type Mr. in the chat. It's some women right now that still hate Mr. They were kids when they saw the movie. They hated Mr. Right? I think I probably saw that movie like 8 or 9 times, man. It was like regular viewing around my mom's house, man. You know, but it became the blueprint for how Black men were portrayed in the media for decades. Okay. And so what we're looking at is psychological warfare. All right. And so Wait and Exhale, right? You guys remember that movie? Terry Millen's, it came out in 95. Terry McMillan's novel. It featured 4 Black women frustrated by their experiences with Black men. All of the men were cheaters. They were liars, or they were emotionally unavailable. And then there was this infamous scene, a car burning scene, where Angela Davis' character set her cheating husband's car on fire. And it became the symbol of Black woman's revenge against Black men. I'm sure there's a lot of brothers got their car burned up because of that. And then, of course, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. That was written by Tyler Perry. And he capitalized on the bitter Black woman narrative, right? And the movie painted Black men as abusive, unfaithful, arrogant. And while the female leads, she finds love and redemption in a softer, more feminine man. You see what I mean? Think about that. And then there was another movie, Steve Harvey's book, Think Like a Man, in 2012. It was based on his book, and it just basically suggested that Black women had to manipulate Black men to commitment, right? And then, I mean, gosh, think about all the other movies, whether we talking about the television shows that came out, and a lot of these young ladies who are listening to this broadcast right now probably were glued to the TV in the 1990s and the 2000s. And they pushed Black men as unnecessary. They glorified this whole independent Black woman thing, whether we talk about TV shows like Living Single from 1993 to 1998. You had these successful, ambitious Black women, while the Black men were just side characters, often less successful. You had the movie Girlfriends from 2000 to 2008. And these Black women, they don't need Black men trope. That was repeated. And it focused on their careers and their friendships and their self-fulfillment. And then, of course, Scandal. I remember hearing about Scandal, that and from 2012 to 2018, where this Black woman was this high-ranking DC liaison to the president, and she ended up having some relationship with him. And then, it's just, look, they glorified interracial relationships. They depicted Black men largely as powerless, weak, and unworthy. And the result is what? The result is you got generations of Black women who have been raised to believe that they don't need a Black man, and the Black men will continuously vilify, and Black men will continuously vilify. And you can't blame them for that when you look at that level of programming. And so what I'm trying to explain to you all is this gender war is artificial. It's artificial insemination. All right. Now, here's what happened. Here's where the tide turned. Okay. Here's where the tide turned. Y'all listening? The tide turned, right? And they were calling Black men absent fathers, right? They did this when the government systematically removed Black men from homes because of these policies, is war on drugs policy. You have brothers, getting arrested. You also have brothers, some of the sisters on welfare, and of course, and if you got a bunch of women with the mindset, I don't need a man, even if she does need a man, she'll say, I don't need a man. She already has the talking points down. So a lot of that situation was like, well, I don't need him anyway. And so the children end up without a father. Okay. They call black men failures, you know, when the economy left us behind. They call us everything except what we were: fighters, protectors, and builders. All right. Shout out to Penny Ford. Thank you so much for your membership. And so for decades, black men did not have a platform to defend themselves. And so the mainstream media, Hollywood, literature, television, they controlled the narrative and ensured that any discussion about black men was one-sided. Now, what happened? Huh? What happened? Right? Well, what happened was social media showed up. Social media changed everything. This digital revolution, a new platform. And you guys remember MySpace? It popped up in 2003. And then Facebook showed up in 2004. And then YouTube showed up in 2005. And Twitter, 2006. Shout out to Corey Smith. Instagram, 2010. All right. And so now, before social media, black men's voices had to go through mainstream filters. And nobody was going to let you put yourself out there and alienate their audience. All right. The producers, the editors, the journalists, or executives, they were the ones that decided who told the stories and how it was framed. Okay. But with the rise of social media, those barriers disappeared. So then black men could tell their own stories. They didn't need permission from a network. They could showcase their experience without any distortion or manipulation. They built their audience without relying on any approval from corporations. And it was the first time in history that black men weren't just reacting to media portrayals. They were creating their own narrative. They were creating their own media. And so then you got the rise of black male content creators, and the ability to speak freely and reach millions meant the new voices emerged. And it created an entire movement dedicated to addressing the realities that black men faced. Okay, YouTube became a breeding ground for black male content creators. You guys know them. Who? People like Kevin Samuels, MTR, the lead attorney, these guys. Some talk about relationships, some talk about other things. There's a whole slew of conservative black men and black women, actually. But, but nevertheless, black men had an opportunity to create the documentaries and commentary and discussions about relationships, fatherhood, systematic challenges. But nevertheless, it was the first time that black men weren't being talked about. They were actually talking for themselves. And then, of course, Facebook showed up in 2004, and Twitter came around in 2006, and it amplified the discussions. I call X now. But these platforms allow for long-form discussion and group debates and real-time engagement. And this is something that was never possible before. Okay, but the movements and the conversations and the rebuttals, shout out to Eddie B, thank you so much. It began to alter the mainstream narratives, and start gaining traction. And TikTok showed up, and Instagram. I think TikTok 2016, Instagram 2010, and these platforms made it easier for black men to perspective to go viral. You had young black men who once had no media presence. Now they gain followers and they gain influence and they gain recognition overnight. And so for the first time ever, black men were speaking and people were listening. So here's the thing. Okay, there was a backlash, right? Because see, as soon as black men began to push against the decades of unchecked criticism of black women amplified and sponsored by the mainstream media, right? The system tried to shut them down. Suddenly, black male empowerment was labeled as misogynistic. Suddenly, speaking about black men's struggles was starting a gender war. Suddenly, black men weren't just men, they were the problem. Why? Because for the first time, black men were telling their own story, and that was dangerous, okay? Black men started exposing the flaws in the family court. Black men started discussing the real impact of welfare policies on the black family. Many of them come from families where their mothers were on welfare, and they could tell you. Black men start calling out the double standards in media portrayals, and instead of acknowledging the truth, the system tried to censor them. From shadow banning to algorithm suppression, platforms started limiting the reach of black male content that didn't fit the mainstream narrative. and mainstream media tried to reclaim the control, but it was too late. The truth was already out. Okay? So what happened? What happened was you had the death of the narrative. Black men began to control their image. They voiced their own opinions, you see? Okay, they framed their own struggle, and it changed the game. There was no longer a monopoly on grievance. There was no, the narrative control, it was over. But now we're at a different point. Okay, and I need you all to understand this. Okay, now it's not just me saying this, but a lot of different people are saying this. Okay, a lot of folks are saying this. And when you begin to look, when you begin to just examine some of the different responses, especially now, again, we've reached a different level of sophistication. So let's begin to take a gander at what is being said. Now, I'm going to do my play-by-play because, you know, this is what I do. I enjoy what I do.
Into 2025, we're going to leave the gender wars behind. So, fellas, stop talking crazy about women and you in 6 different inboxes talking to yourself. Ladies, stop saying you hate men because you don't even hate the man that made you say that. You still fucking them and you're doing
I'm sorry about the language. Sorry, your language.
raw. Moral of the story, we all stupid. We're all annoying. Everybody shut the hell up.
Yeah. You know, I would agree that to that to a certain extent, but we all are entitled to our voice. But let's go, brother. Let's see what else.
About 50-50.
Wow. This fella right here is showing like what happened. There was a time, and there were some people in the chat room right now, when you would go out, man, you'd be dancing and partying, hanging out. And see, that's in the early 90s. Notice the stuff, the media onslaught and the disrespect towards Black men and them painting us as these horrible periods. It started in the mid-90s. It really got hot in the mid-90s. And so back then, that was kind of like the last time you could really just hang out and enjoy yourself and socialize and so on and so forth. But see, this generation grew up with all this gender warring. And you see how they just chilling. They're not even walking. They just sit down.
Honestly, I think this is just a result from the constant back and forth men and women have had on social media for like the past 3 to 5 years, bro. We've all sat back and witnessed as men and women constantly argue about 50-50, share their unrealistic expectations, share their horrendous dating stories and ridiculous hypothetical situations. And that has just completely turned everybody off from dating as a whole, bro. Men don't want to approach women anymore because they don't even know if women want to be approached, and they don't want to be labeled as a creep. Women act like they're completely turned off from men. So everybody just said, fuck it. Plus, everything is high as fuck right now. And
he said, it costs too much.
And ain't nobody trying to add an extra stressor to their life.
That's true, too. It's true, too. Let's see what else they got to say, man.
And see, fellas, on the first date, you supposed.
This is he's right. Because look, let me tell you something, man. Ladies, not man. I've never been on a date, real life. Okay, I've never been on a date with somebody and asked them, do they want to go 50-50? I've never had that conversation ever. That is not. I'm like, what you drinking? Are we gonna have something? What you want to eat? You know, what you? I've never. Is that even realistic? Do y'all really get that deep on the first date? I mean, surely there's some build-up time. Do you talk to each other on the phone? I've never done that. So when you listen to these podcasters, a lot of the young folk, and when I say young, I'm talking about under 40. Especially men. Don't listen to any man. I hate. And I'm not knocking the fellas. But ladies, don't listen to any man under 40 who's giving relationship advice. Just don't do it. Because I mean, I'm just saying, especially if they claim to be speaking for all men, they just are not, and they just don't necessarily even have the depth, the breadth of understanding to really just have that conversation. They still are not in their right mind until they get about 40. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But this young fella, this brother is telling you what he hears on the podcast, you know, and this is true. It's a true reflection.
To ask her, what do you bring to the table? And because if you don't ask her what she brings to the table, then girl, you won't believe that man asked me to respect him. I was like, where we do that at? Why we do that? Society has tricked women into thinking that they the prize. They ain't the prize, fellas. You the prize. See, I didn't have a daddy when I grew up, but I know what a real man's supposed to be. A real man's supposed
See,
let me tell
you. It's the same stuff, right? We're hearing the same stuff. Everybody's saying the same stuff, the same talking point. Blah, blah, blah. Aren't y'all tired of hearing that? Like, aren't we tired of hearing that?
Tell y'all what a real woman's supposed to be like. See, a real woman's supposed to be like, hell nah, you ain't finna overtalk me. Oh, yes, I am. You ain't finna overtalk me.
Let me just call my wife and see what she needs from the store.
He said, let me call my wife. Right.
See, I'm just trying to tell you how to be a high-value man. God damn it, pick the phone back up.
I mean, where's the lie? I mean, you know, let's keep listening, man. Let's see what listen.
War start, and what's the end game?
I saw this video 2 days ago, and I've been thinking about it. And something actually occurred to me this morning. This little gender war that we've got going on, it's not going to affect us. It's going to take its toll on the next generation. Women are saying to young women that all men are dangerous and they should stay away from them. And men...
That's true. I mean, that's very true. I mean, think about that. The gender war is not going to affect the people who are already dating. It's affecting the people coming up behind them. You know, you say all these bad things about black men. You say black men are saying all these bad things about black women. The kids are listening and they like, whoa, okay, I might be black, but I don't want one of them. So it's deleterious to what we're trying to do as a black family. Okay. Now let's keep listening to the brother.
Men are saying to young men that women cannot be trusted. Also, they should stay away from them. What this is going to do is the next generation is going to grow up hating each other, and there will be zero communication line between both of them. Now, as we know, when there's no communication, nothing moves forward.
Yeah, and in this political environment that we live in, communication is what keeps it rules the nation. Okay, and we can't have unity if we're not even talking to each other. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to need to be able to communicate with each other. Now, again, I'm gonna be honest with you. You all know that men talking about women is something that every group does, and nobody does it better than us. You understand me? It is like a foundational black American pastime to talk reckless about each other and cap and clown and whatnot. But the problem is people that don't like us will take that information and use it against us, and they will try to exploit that. All right. So I want to share something with you real quick. Let me see if I can get this this screen up real quick. Let me know. Let me know if you guys can see this.
There is no end. So since the...
Hold on 1 minute. Let me see if I can get this. I'm trying to. Okay, so all right. Let me see here. Golly, let me see if I can get it. All right, so let's read this together. This infighting between black men and black women against everyone else now is distracting or detracting from what needs to be done against the regime. I get you are upset and angry and tired, but this isn't the time to sit back and let everyone suffer, including yourselves, if you want to go back to pre-U.S. Civil War era laws. Be my effing guest. Honestly, I don't want that. Look, black men and black women are on the same page. 92% of black men, 92% of black women voted for Kamala Harris. Okay. 79% of black men voted for Kamala Harris. Taking those numbers together, that's 86% of black people voted for Kamala Harris. We are on the same page. Now, not me, though, because I voted for Trump, because, again, I want low taxes, and I was okay with people being sent home that shouldn't be here, okay? So not me, but the rest of the wonderful, loving, caring black people. So they're going to try to exploit this age-old gender war to get black women angry with black men, and then have black women believe that some kind of way black men are preventing them from coming out and protesting on behalf of these illegal immigrants and all this other stuff. The regime, as she got, basically Donald Trump's administration. And so this is where the shenanigans and the foolery starts. This is how they exploit us. They exploit that division. But I'll deal with that a little bit later. Y'all keep listening to the brother.
Most of us in this little war are going to be long gone and faded into history. And all that will be left is just men and women that have no idea how to communicate with each other because we've raised them to hate each other. But we don't care, do we? We're so focused on trying to prove each other wrong that we're really
You hear what the brother said? We're so focused. Shout out to be about peace and pleasure. We're so focused into proving each other wrong. I want all the black folk in the chat. I want y'all to listen to me. Haven't we said enough to each other? I mean, how much lower and dirtier do we need to get when it comes to talking about each other? It's gotten to the point that you got black men and black women wishing harm on each other. You understand what I'm saying? Like, how much? Let's just agree to disagree, right? Let's just say, okay, I'm a man, you're a woman, we're going to disagree. Let's try to find places in which we can find common ground. Let's focus on money. Let's focus on prosperity. Let's focus on success. We've said all we need to say. You know what? I tell you what. We can get back to this in about 15 to 20 years. We can get right back to we can pick up at the gender war right where we left off. But we need to get through this next 12 to 15 years intact with our money. Because see, we built everything we had from 1865 to 1919. And they came in and bombed all of our stuff and destroyed thousands of black towns around. You understand what I'm saying? So again, we're not next, we're first and always. Once they get rid of these immigrants, you better be certain that they're gonna focus on us color folk. You understand what I'm saying? So just don't get it twisted. We got a little reprieve right now. It's halftime, okay? But the supremacists will be back. Let's keep listening to the lady. I want to hear some more.
Ladies, please stop. And I mean, for the love of God, please stop making videos where you're shitting on.
Shout out to J-Lo. J-Lo.
Like, there's nothing cute about that. Mm-hmm. There's nothing empowering about degrading an entire gender because of one or two guys that may have hurt you in the.
And I understand, ladies, it feels good. It feels good to talk about men, blah, blah. I know it feels good, but remember, there are people out there will use that against you. Just keep listening to the little lady, though.
Past, like, we literally have an entire system that is trying to control us and instill fear into us. Mm-hmm. And you are out here creating a gender war. Like, we have bigger fish to fry. And I mean, if you look in my comments, you will see hundreds of comments coming through from men that are just upset and they're hurt. And you're literally doing to them what you accuse them of doing to you. And it just creates this cycle. And it's toxic.
It's never going to end.
It's not helping anybody.
It's never. We can talk at each other on the internet from now until the cows come home. It's never going to end. That's what I need y'all to understand. So at what point is enough is enough? That's what we need. All the adults.
The war start, and what's the end game?
Yeah, what's the end game? 2 days ago, and I've been thinking about it, and something actually occurred to me this morning. This little gender war that we've got going on, it's not going to affect us. It's going to take its toll on the next generation. Women are saying to young.
So much beef between black men and black women right now. It's because we've lost the art of R&B. Yeah, I know people are going to say, well, R&B's coming back. What about...
What this young lady is trying to explain is if you listen to those old songs where the brothers sing, yeah, they be, yeah, baby. They be hitting them high notes. Yeah, baby, if you want to just come back to me. You know, they was out there professing and explaining they love. Yeah, baby, I know I cheated on you, baby. But if you just take me back one more time, you know, they was out there on it, man. You know, they were wailing. Yeah. Ooh, hitting them high notes. But the thing is, you know, they were professing their love, you know, but how do you profess your love for a group of people when, you know, you got a group of men on the internet talking reckless about them and calling them all sorts of mean things, and then you got the women talking bad about, ain't no love in there. Y'all want to fight. We rather fight than love, you know what I mean? But we still do that. We still be fighting, and the babies keep coming. I know that for sure. I will say that. But that's how I know this gender war is kind of fake, because the kids keep coming. I don't know. Y'all don't like each other. Why them kids keep showing up? This is a new bomber. It's a new baby mama and baby daddy made every week. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, let's let the lady
Insert
finish.
your favorite artist here. Listen, I'm not talking about them. I am talking about the
Yeah.
artists that used to sing in the begging and pleading for their sweethearts, for their lovers, for, you know, their girl that maybe they just met like 2 seconds ago, but she just impacted them
I
so
ain't
deeply.
never seen a woman like you.
Because they needed her so badly.
I
in
need
their
you,
life.
baby.
There's just such a level of vulnerability that it takes to be able to produce and put out a song like that.
Come back,
And not only that,
come
to
back,
like make a
come back
music
to
video that is just so
me.
emotionally, like, deeply impactful. We've
Yeah.
lost that. Our community has lost that. That is a lost art. It's a lost art. And people are wondering why the black women and black men are raging against each other on Twitter. Like, can we be honest? Can we be real?
Be real, yeah. Shout out to me, baby. Y'all didn't know I could hit some high notes like that. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. But the love, where did the love go? Where did the love go? But anyway, let's get back to the work.
Podcasts, whether it's men or women, they need to stop. Because if they're not going at each other for some nonsensical gender war, which no one in real life actually subscribes to, they'll
Now look, you see all these people who are saying the same thing I'm saying. This is what's in the air right now. This is how I know it's coming. It's run its course. It was artificial. It's run its course. They kept the agenda up. They kept throwing fire. Shout out to J-Lo. They kept throwing. I'm gonna read all the super chats. Don't y'all go no. I'm gonna read all the super chats. I promise. I'm read all the super chats. But I just want to get through what we're doing right now. Okay. So shout out to everybody. Y'all will get. I'm gonna get y'all time to shine, baby. Uncle D gonna read all them super chats. Okay, cause that means you're learning something. We gonna keep doing what we're doing. But let's keep
attack every aspect of what it means to be black and black culture. And for the men that do it, I sit here and I'm like, you guys have black grandmothers, black moms, black sisters that your boys probably all want to get with, but we all know that's not going to happen. And for the black women who engage in this nonsense, you literally make sex and sex appeal the only thing you bring to the table. And I'm sorry, but black women have been so much more than that for so long, and they look damn fine doing it. It's shameful none of you got any.
When we think of Soldier the Truth and Harriet Tubman and Coretta Scott King and Betty Shabazz, and we don't think of just sex, do we? We think of these dynamic, amazing black women. But somehow this mass media has convinced black women that they should just be reduced to their sexual prowess. And I want you, if you don't see that, that's a mind trick, if for nothing else. And they got black women feeding into it. You see what I mean? So y'all just think about that, but let's keep listening to the brother.
Inspiration to be better than that. What hurts me the most is the fact that a lot of you guys know you have an impressionable audience of young people to people my age. And rather than promote these good things about being black, creating these unique and better black spaces, you'd rather sell out the power behind our black voices and the identity of a black person for money and nonsensical clickbait. And it's wrong. These black podcasts.
There's been black men and black women who thought like this for decades. But remember, the mass media stifles these voices, and instead it puts puts out there what's the most lucrative. Okay, we don't get a balance.
What else looks a lot like this chart? Birth rates. Like, birth rates so low that the population will not be able to sustain itself. It's literally what's happening in South Korea. And so what's happening here is that the women are getting more educated, and as we become more educated, we become more liberal. Not really, because men are just as educated as we are. It's the inner.
What this lady is saying is basically, hey, you go to these colleges and they indoctrinate you into that liberal doctrine. They basically tell you don't need a man. You got education. You got a degree, girl. You don't need a man. But, is that really beneficial for the long run and the children and families and whatnot? I don't see why these two things are mutually exclusive. Education and motherhood, education and fatherhood. I don't see that. But let's keep listening.
It's the algorithms that only feed us the information that agrees with our view of the world. We spend more time online than we do talking to each other, and it's causing us to diverge in our views of the world in ways so extreme. It's literally the first time in history it's happened. Typically, generations, like men and women, match each other on their views of the world politically. Interestingly, what this implies is that conservative women are way more likely than liberal women to get married and have kids.
Conservative women are way more likely to get married than liberal women. What does that tell you? that tells you when we get a return to conservative values, which is what you see happening now. Because see, here's the big picture. Now that Black men and Black women, really all people, are able to use the internet and voice their conservative values, you see a political change. Hey, you agree with me? I agree with you. Before, we wouldn't see that on MSNBC. Maybe you see it on Fox News or something like that, but you wouldn't see it on MSNBC. You wouldn't see it on CNN. All you would see is strong, independent, don't need a man repeated over and over and over again. But now that Black women who are more conservative, Black men who are more family oriented, now that we can begin to voice our opinions, now it's become more acceptable to do what? To voice these things and talk about them. All right, let's keep listening.
I mean, go figure. I think the main takeaway from this is that we all just need to go touch some grass and talk to more people in person, because this is not a good thing. If you think about it, what's considered conservative today was considered liberal like 100 years ago. So it's not like we're not changing as a society, right? It's just we're diverging so much as genders within our generation. Like that's not normal.
It's not normal. She's right. It is not normal, and we need to get over it. Let's keep listening to the people.
I hate this new generation of women so much is because we're finally starting to realize how powerful
Men are not intimidated by.
Yeah, just cut her off. So this is not just me coming up with this. This is a lot of people saying this gender war has been trumped up. I mean, look, there's some valid arguments on both sides, but this is not a 20-year conversation. This is not a 30-year conversation. Okay, this is a couple of seminars, and we're over it. The media has ginned this up. I need y'all to understand that. And because the legacy media is now dying, because the political climate is now changing, this so-called, shout out to Barry Little, this so-called gender war is going to be out of here. The negotiations are over with. At this point, hey, we don't have time to talk about 50-50. What we need to do is get together, because that government job went away. Welfare is going away. You got to increase shout out to Barry Little. You have an environment that is going to be racially charged, and Black people need to come together. We don't have time for these frivolities. Keep on listening to this.
They really aren't. I'll tell you what I see in this new generation of women. Very little self-respect. I'm 34 years old, and I have never seen the level of hoery going.
She came up with a whole nother word. How do you spell that? Let me see how she spelled that again. Let me see. Say that again for me.
The level of hoery.
One more time. Somebody spell that for me in the chat room. Let me get a run up to it real quick.
Old, and I have never seen the level of hoery going on in.
Hoery. Is that in the Encyclopedia Britannica somewhere? Is there somewhere I can look that up? That is an amazing, that sounds like a word that my grandmother would use, okay, when describing my cousins, when they would leave the house, as she would say, with the pants heisted up, when they had their skirts heisted up. That sounds, that word almost sounds religious. Let's listen to it one more time. Okay, in the name of the ancestors. Go ahead.
And I have never seen the level of hoery going on in this world. Yes, most of these women can't cook. They're foolish women. They don't know how to build their household.
Yeah, but see, again, the reason they're like that is because the mass media and the society tells them that's appropriate. You see what I mean? And on top of that, the environment has allowed for them to be like that. You don't need a man. You got safety net after safety net. Okay. And so we can't necessarily blame what grows in this particular environment when it's nurtured. And so what I'm trying to get everybody to do is, yes, there's always going to be accountability for everybody, both sides, and nobody, but you also have to recognize the environment that we live in. And then that way we can begin to actually confront that environment, okay, and address those signals coming from the environment.
Instead, they destroy it with their own hands. We got women emasculating men left to right, saying.
But that's what they've been trained to do, baby. They've been trained to emasculate. They grew up watching Maury Povich, okay. Their mama watched Ricky Lake and Oprah Winfrey, okay. They can't help it. That's what they do.
All right, I'm just trying to tell you that's what they do. Okay, we can't just do you think they just made that up on their own? Shout out to Johnny here. It's been a plan. They were trained to do that. The reason they call TV shows and radios programming, because your brain is being programmed by the movies and the TVs and all the crosstalk. Okay, I'm trying to help you. All right, but go ahead. Is that what the WH horary?
It's a problem for them to be a man. But baby, I got a boy. And as parents to a boy, it's my job to be the example and set the standard for the woman that's going to come into his life. It's my
He gonna get somebody just the opposite. He gonna get him a GloRilla. That's what he gonna do. You around there telling them all that, he gonna get him one of them fine young twerkers with a tattoo on the side of her neck, and she gonna bring her straight in your house. Just because you try to, I know what he gonna do. I know when you unleash them.
my husband's job to raise him.
Don't get it twisted. Them GloRillas are fun. I'm just telling you right now, them GloRillas are fun. They are fun. They're a lot of fun. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you, them GloRillas are fun. Okay, back in the day. Okay, back in the day, way back in the Uncle D used to go to the little dollar club, little $2 Tuesday. Little chicken. I go up there for the chicken wings. I give me 100 ones. I don't want to talk about it now though. But go on here.
And teach him what a man really looks like. You see, my husband and I, we work together. I respect his role as male of the household. And he pours on to me all the love I need to keep this household going. See,
I know you do, girl. I know you do. I know you gone, but you've been doing a little something. Yeah, you can't tell me you ain't keep that man and you ain't got no GloRilla in you. I'm not saying get rid of. We just need a little less GloRilla and a little more cooking with Kai. But don't get rid of the GloRilla. Don't get rid of all that. Because you're going to need somebody to hold the guns sometime. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying. We don't want to go in there. We positivity tonight. We positive. Come on.
Baby, I'm powerful in my own unique way. And so is my husband.
Yes, you are, baby. You powerful. Go on here. That boy going to go find him one of them hot, fired up ass youngsters. She going to be like, come through. Yeah, mama gonna have a fit. Go ahead. What else you gotta say? Let's talk to this.
To say, hey, I've tried it this way. I'm not gonna only date Black. I'm going to date outside of my race, other people. I'm gonna be all inclusive. That's one thing. I don't think that is self-hate.
Oh, well, first, it's not self-hate, but it is interesting when you use it as a stat when you say these niggas ain't shit.
No, that's different. I'm saying
I didn't try to use YouTube people. I don't say the N-word. These people, I'm trying to get these people not to go. I'm sorry. I hope you don't hit the N-bomb again. Come on, man, with the N-word.
Like, hey, I've tried this. I'm only dated inside my race. I'm gonna be open to dating people outside of my race. But when I think that you try to couple it with an excuse, well, the reason that I dated majority white or I gravitated to white women is because Black women always put me down. No, don't put that on us.
I know, and we have to move on, but it's like the exact same thing.
So again, I want y'all to think about it. Just roll with me on. Y'all know I always tell the brothers my preference for them. If you're a Black man, is to date a Black woman. That's what I tell the brothers. It don't matter to me if she's Black American, foundational Black American. I don't care if she light skinned, dark skinned. I don't care if she is a woman of African descent from the Caribbean, Jamaican, Dominican, coastal. I don't care. You see, I tell you brothers all the time to get yourself a Black woman. That's what I tell. Whether she's from them, that's what I tell you. Okay, I tell you that because it look. For me, I tell my sons all the time. What's the point of me building you up and you're gonna be this wealthy doctor or lawyer, and then you go off and get you one of them pink toes? I mean, I should say that it's a beautiful white women. Shout out to all the white women that like Uncle B. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. But it's an expression of self-love to want to recreate yourself. You see? If I was raising a little white boy, let's say Uncle D adopted a little white boy, we'll call him little Billy Hickenbacker. Let's say Uncle D adopted a little white boy. Come on, little white boy, come on in here and get you some cornbread and some collard greens. As soon as he grow up to be a full-grown white man, I'm like, get your little blonde-haired Viking woman. So go on out there, go on, little, get your Viking, get your white girl. I'll be at the wedding. How you doing? I'm his Black daddy. How y'all doing? Yeah, we adopted him when he was young. That's why he don't look like me.
But yeah, I would say the same. If I had a little Mexican boy, I'm like, look, come on, little Mexican boy. You my son, little Jose. Come on over here. Give him a little, give him a little pig feet, cornbread, raise him up. But as soon as he get old, you got to go on back to the tacos, baby. You got to find your little Mexican girl. You see what I'm saying? Because it's an expression of self-love. Don't judge me. Don't with the old school. Okay? I was told if she can't use my comb, don't bring her in my home. You got to understand where I'm coming from. And it worked out. Okay? It's all right. Whether she black, Afro-Latina, Caribbean, I done had them all. Okay? Uncle D done had them all. All right? I'm just telling you. Let me stop. I'm sorry. Let me get it. Too much. Anyway.
Gender wars! Gender wars! We're back. You're saying that all of these niggas that I've dated.
This dude with the N-bomb. Why I can't see this? What I'm talking. I can't fool with you. They you can't keep dropping the N-bombs on my family-friendly broadcast, sir. Let's move on to the next person.
To the shit I'll be doing on the internet every day. Women this, women that, men. Shut the up. Like, it's okay to complain, but have a solution. Like, nobody is talking about solutions.
Ain't no solution. We just supposed to fight perpetually. That's the money. The money is in the fight. The people filming y'all going at it. Look at them. They just fighting every day. That's the money. People are sitting up laughing and no, there's no solution. The reason I don't give dating advice is because everybody's different. You like what you like. And sometimes what you like now might not be what you like later. You see what I'm saying? That's what you all need to understand. You like whatever you like. There's no one mold. There's no, and even if you like something while you're young, you might like something else when you get older. I'm just saying, just think about what I'm saying. So one size does not fit all. Some people don't want to deal with the headache of a young woman. All right, you don't want to, young women are a headache. I'm just telling you, headache. I'm just saying, fun, headache. You need your older gal. Come on, baby, let's go on down to the comedy club. Let's go on ease on that. You 45, you 55, she 45, 48. Y'all both got y'all little medicine next to each other, heart medicine and your post-menopause medicine next to each other. Y'all got your little twin trays next to each other. You know what I'm saying? You rub her little rheumatoid arthritis and she crack your back at night. Y'all get along like two peas in the pod. You don't want no young ass girl. Excuse my lady, you can't deal with that. Oh, you don't need all that. That's bad on your heart. You out here trying to learn new songs and stuff. You too old for that. I'm saying. And you need to take your nap at 6:30, 7 o'clock, just so you could be ready to go hang out again about 9:30. Look, man. Look, I'm telling you, you don't want that. All these dudes talking about, man, I'm gonna get me a woman who's 20 to 25. You don't want that. Boy, she gonna give you a heart attack out there in them streets, man. You trying to hit the club, and you 48, and you got a 22-year-old girlfriend. Too old for that, baby. I'm just saying. I've been there, Uncle D. Been there. I'm trying to tell y'all. You ain't you what you think you can do, you can't do no more. So I'm just saying, not for everybody. So again, one size does not fit all. That's why I don't give relationship advice. I don't give relationship advice. Everybody likes something different depending on the time. But you might like to look at it. Ooh, look at that. But you don't want that. Get you a nice older woman, man. You're 60 years old. You better not retch back and get nothing under 40. You better not. She's gonna wear you out. Boy, to mess up your credit, have you filing your taxes late. You be rounding there. You be missing mortgage payments trying to buy her, take on them trips when she don't put you in none of the pictures. You better cut it out. Don't do that to yourself. You ain't ready for that. Just sat down, fellas. Just sat down. Anyway, let's keep listening.
And it irks the hell out of me because it's like when you're complaining.
I do admire her hair. Look at that. Is that a golden bun on the top of her head, though? That's a golden bun. How do you even get that?
And you're not putting forth a viable, reasonable idea to fix it. You're part of the problem. You're part of the noise. You're not making anything.
I can't even focus on what she's saying because she got that golden
bun on top of her head like that. That is amazing.
Better. If anything, you're exacerbating the issue.
It's just noise. You're just talking.
Like you literally, it serves zero purpose. There's no benefit. There's nothing to gain. It's just you're just wasting your breath that you might need in your 70s.
In your 70s.
Like I just really don't understand like why people
complain
so much. Kind of complaining don't really need solutions for them. It's just that's honestly they just be talking.
That's what I'm saying. They just talking.
Getting your nails done. You need to be building shit and changing tires instead of getting manny and petties with the girls.
And women need to go back to cooking.
Hold on. I do get my little nails clipped every now and then. I will, because look at my fingertip. I need to get my little nails clipped. You know me out here scratching people.
Okay. Cleaning and staying in the house.
Excuse me? How we gonna do that if all y'all want to do is
shout out to Penny Ford.
Go 50-50 on the bills?
If we staying together, you paying half of your bills because you staying in half of the house. What? I ain't your daddy.
So I gotta cook for you, clean up, and have your baby?
These are arguments we having. These are arguments. Look, man, these are arguments we having. Why that ain't even your girlfriend. That's not even your girlfriend. We just having this and y'all just making up stuff. I don't pay 50-50. First of all, ain't nobody took you out. That's the first thing you need to understand. Ain't nobody taking you out no way. Okay? I'm just saying, ain't nobody taking you out. So what are you talking about 50-50? And you making this up. Okay? You making this up. Right? Go ahead.
And work. I ain't gonna be the only one working.
So what's your role in the house?
If the dude wants you to pay 50-50 on the meal and that's y'all first day, he don't even like you. Okay? He don't like you. Okay? Because if he likes you enough, not only would he be paying 50-50, he'd be trying to pay for everything. Just understand that if a man say, hey, we're going to pay 50-50, he don't like you like that. Okay, that's common sense to tell you that, ladies. That's just common sense. So you can end the whole 50-50 conversation. 50-50 means he doesn't like you that much. So just recognize that. So I don't need to be none of y'all daddy. I don't need to be. You couldn't bring your little boyfriends around me. You couldn't. Hey there, young man. How you doing today? You all right? All right. Yeah. You got some condoms on you? You plan to do something with my daughter, huh? Yeah. I bet you are. Boy, go on in the back. We got that that herpes test waiting for you in the back. That take home herpes that's gonna make sure y'all right. When you take my daughter out, I don't know what you do. Oh yeah, they be uncomfortable. They be like, oh, your dad. Yeah, I know. That's what daddies do. But anyway, none of my business. But yeah, let's get on back to the
work. Come home to a hot meal every day, and I be the man of the house.
How you gonna be the man of the house if you going 50-50 with your girl?
Why am I paying all the bills when there's somebody else living in the house?
See
these the conversations y'all having. Y'all just making up things to argue about. This is what you're doing. Y'all just making up stuff to just fuss about. That's what you're doing. Y'all just want to be cute. Y'all want to be on TV and in the internet.
This is why women single now. Ain't nobody doing all that. And y'all still expect some too. Oh, hell no. Count me out. I'm going to just take care of my cats and be single because, no.
You might as well get you a rose while you at it too, because them cats are going to keep you warm at night. I know my worth and I know my value. Hey, Kings, listen. Know your worth, know your value. You are the prize. And why don't y'all be paying for dates?
He too young to even know what the hell he's talking about. Look at him. Would you trust his advice? Look at this young man. I would not trust anything he said. So I would, sir. I'll just be honest with you. You ain't got no white on your face or nothing. I don't trust what you say at all. You in your head, you got a little peanut head too. Don't ever trust anybody with a peanut head. You got a peanut head. And you can see a little throat. Look at him. He ain't even eating good. You don't even eat enough, sir. I'm not gonna trust you. Go ahead.
You are the prize. And why don't y'all be paying for dates?
Oh, you sassy. So I gotta approach you, ask for your number, and send you some money to get your nails done.
You the man in a relationship. You gotta do all that. You the man, baby.
Too, huh? This one got a little bit of sweetness to him, y'all.
Not too much, boogie.
Get off track. I don't want.
Yeah, because
that's not what we talking about. Okay, well, now we talking about. Let's keep listening to this.
man up that I've ever been with, baby.
All right.
When they leave me, they're in a much better position than when they got. A woman's value that she adds to a man is something that you cannot even put a price on, baby. It is something that you cannot even look at the amount, because guess what? What we're doing is we're elevating you and we're growing you in a.
I mean, aren't y'all tired of hearing this? I'm just saying. Haven't we heard this conversation before? How many times we need to hear all this? This is your gender war right here. Let me show y'all. These are your representatives.
Way that you could not even imagine.
The very last man you was with, how long was that relationship?
This is what black folk are talking about on the internet. This is how we use our time on this earth. This is what we doing.
3.5 years.
When you met him, was he a millionaire?
No.
When you left him, was he a millionaire? No. You ain't made nobody nothing. A lot of these women talk about what they could do for a man and how.
Now, we had ancestors that built HBCUs. Shout out to Liliana McDonald. We had ancestors that built churches, built families. They built homes. They fought against racism. They fought in wars. And this is what we do.
Good they are. Y'all ain't made nobody.
Just because you didn't make someone a millionaire doesn't mean you didn't make them nothing. I know you're smarter than that.
Pause. Let me get it out. You didn't make him nothing. Let me just say this, ladies, before we.
Go out of here.
So here's the thing.
Baby.
I am over the bashing black men content.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It really is frustrating to see so many black women chew and eat up every narrative that centers around why black men are incapable and just insufferable.
But you gotta.
And before y'all sit here in my comments and call me and pick me, and before y'all sit in my comments and say, well, black men do it too. You're absolutely right. There are some black men who get on here and do the wrong thing of bashing black women. I don't accept that. But what I don't accept is you doing the same thing.
Yeah. So
you're not
both men and women, not just men saying, hey, this gender war is going nowhere. Okay, let's get y'all hit the like button.
Better than the male basher if you do it too. You know how your mama used to look at you when she's having a conversation with you? Maybe she's, putting some little disciplinary action on you. And
then on that fire.
She would say, so if all your friends jump off the bridge, does that mean you're going to do the same thing? We're jumping off the bridge, ladies. We're jumping off the bridge trying to find reasons.
That you've been trained to do it. That's what I'm saying.
To be like the very men that we say we don't like. Set a better standard. Let's have better conversations that don't
black women have been trained to believe there aren't any good black men out there. So what's the point of setting a high standard if there aren't any good black men? That's the brainwashing. And so we can't just blame it on ourselves. I just want you to understand that. But go ahead. Let's see what else somebody else got to say.
Sometimes nobody's the bad guy. Sometimes you both lose. And sometimes you both get the last laugh. What if it was things you taught each other you couldn't learn from no one else? And maybe you find each other again after you find yourself. Maybe neither one of you knew what you were doing. Neither one of you were.
Go.
White man.
White man.
Talk about black women in your.
The fake outrage about this shit is crazy.
What happened?
Black women get on these apps, on this internet, and show black men they don't give a fuck about them every single day.
I want to hear what you have to say, sir, but you're going to have to watch your language. Okay, I know you're cool with your lanyard and your cool shades and everything. We're going to have to watch that language. We're going to chill on those F-bombs, sir. Okay, I'm going to let you continue to speak. Go ahead.
In front of the whole world. It's some sisters that don't give a fuck. They don't care about.
All right. That's your second warning. Okay, that's your second. Shout out to TW. That's your second warning, sir. We're going to watch this language. Okay, that's what we're going to do.
Shows and them fucking jokes.
I
seen one of them in a live last night with other women.
You got to go.
Coming onto the live to figure out what women were so.
And take accountability for our own mistakes.
Shout out to TW.
Especially amongst our peoples, we got to stop this gender war.
We got to stop it.
And it's like, hey, start taking accountability for your mistakes. I don't care.
Even if you don't, it got to stop.
Marriage, whatever. Like, hey,
you don't even have to take accountability. It is not the time. It is not the political climate right now. We don't have to settle anything. Everything need to be said, been said. Okay, it's all been said. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. It's an unresolved issue. Men and women have been arguing with each other for thousands of years about what blah 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 and what I do and what I look. I'm sure with some cavemen out there saying, "What do you bring to the table?" And because I done brought this moose leg, and you know, you supposed to go down there and get them seashells, and you around here in the cave sleep. The cave is filthy. Okay, you can't clean up that reindeer poop that's in the corner. All right, I brought some pterodactyl toes in the house last night, and they just laying over there, and you ain't even clean them and cook them. I mean, you know, and she come back, look, Larry, I'm sorry, the caveman named Larry, right? Whatever. I don't know any good caveman names. Larry, look, you don't respect what I do around here, Larry. Okay, you go out, you gone all day. I had to be around the cave, okay, and I have to talk to your mother, and I had to take everything. My response, they've been talking about this for thousands of years. Okay, the question is, at what point, right, are we gonna be like, all right, it is what it is, okay? It is what we're gonna do, and nothing else to do about it. At some point, we just hustling backwards. Let's keep going.
Just say, you know what? I might have messed up. I could have done better. You know, I could have did things differently. And, you know, and if you're not going to try to work those things out, then just let it be and move on. You know, don't take bitterness with you.
Let me tell you something else. You couldn't leave people during the caveman time. Okay? Ain't no leaving. Ain't no leaving in the caveman time. I'm just saying. All right, fellas, if you left, you ain't going to get another woman. You left, you're going to have to fight a whole nother tribe of men for a woman. You ain't going to get another woman. Okay? And if Larry, what's a good name for a cave woman? Matilda. If you leave that cave if you want to, it's going to be some saber-toothed tigers. They're going to be picking their teeth later on after they bitch you up. See what I'm saying? You had that external pressure, that environmental pressure that kept folk together. Black folks had that same pressure. Pre-1955, you know why we were the most married people in the world, in the country? Because you didn't have any other options. You couldn't, well, where you gonna go? You was stuck together. You had to do the best you could. And then all of a sudden you got freedom, right? I don't date black women no more. I don't date black. That's what happened. Freedom did that to you. That's what happened. Freedom. The white man kept you together. Let's tell the truth. Shame the devil. That white man said, "Get your better not come back past Main Street. Bring your black. You wasn't going on. You better be home in the dark." That's why we got along. We were stuck together. And now y'all done got all this freedom. You don't know what to do yourself. Okay, let's keep it 100. But what I'm telling you now, we about to go back to that environment where y'all better get close. You better look. You better go holler. You better, hey, big head, all you ladies, I want y'all to send some hey, big head texts out. Call, hey, big head. Somebody, all the ladies in the chat room type, hey, big head, you need to get back with big head. Okay, big head, he got a little plumbing business. And you done lost your job. Doge done came in and said, "No, we getting rid of all of them." So you done lost your little job. You're gonna have to get back with have to get back with Gerald. Gerald the plumber, your friend, your little special friend. You're gonna have to get back with Gerald now. Gerald is looking mighty appealing right about now. Gerald got that nice Ford truck, right? He got that four bedroom house, four bedroom house over there. Yeah, you better get on back with Gerald. Call Gerald now. Because the environment, you need a place to stay, baby. You don't need to be out in these streets. It's cold. Doge is out here in these streets. Okay, I need you to get back with Gerald. I need you to go ahead and give him a call. All right, I need you to say, "Hey, Gerald, I need you to be kind to him." Okay, we got some cooking with Kaya coming up in a minute. Okay, we're going to teach you something. We getting back to tradition. Y'all need each other again. I'm just saying, go ahead. Let me let this brother finish.
Don't
Hit
take
the
that
number one.
energy and put it into somebody else who hadn't done anything to hurt you. You know, you gotta just move forward, man. If you ain't gonna fix it, move forward. There's no time for the bashing and and things like
feels
that.
good
And
though,
you
the
know you
bad.
handle
Don't it?
things a certain
Talking
way.
bad,
So
you bad. You don't remember. You don't
stop
know.
the mental
You
abuse, stop the
it feel
physical
good.
abuse. You know, stop all of it, man. You know, learn how to go into a new situation if that's what you want to do.
It feels good talking about it. That's why we won't give it up. Let's see what
trusting
you got to say,
mentality. Like, don't.
Yo, what's good, fuckies?
What do you say?
I be like looking at videos and shit on social media.
Yeah.
I hear people mention that there's a so-called gender war going on. And I find it kind of funny, you know what I'm saying?
What you find funny about it, brother? What you find funny about it?
There is a rebellion going on.
Is a rebellion. That's what you call it. Okay.
There is no war between the genders because
you sure?
Against nobody or anything.
We definitely negotiating though in public.
Women might say, "Oh, you fight against feminism." No, we're not.
We not? You sure?
We're not
I
fighting.
think we are though. I think it's a fight.
So we're not fighting against it. Y'all are rebelling. Women are rebelling. That's
Who they rebelling against?
Gender war.
They ain't rebelling. They don't need you. You don't own them. You can't rebel. What you mean rebelling? I don't know, brother. I don't know. Let's go.
They at war. We don't give a fuck. We're like, they're like, no, we strong and independent. We don't need men. We're like, cool.
No, but why we still talk about them if we don't care no more? Why we still talk if we don't care? Why? You sure? I'm just saying.
Then resting their independence. You feel me?
I don't feel you. I think we still care. I think we still trying to holler. I think somebody that we still trying to holler. If she call, you gonna call back. Don't lie.
Get in a relationship.
You ain't got to lie. You ain't got to lie to me.
An adult, and that's all you're doing.
You ain't got to lie, dog. You ain't got to lie.
With that, cool. Knock yourself out.
You too cool, bro. You lying now. You out here lying. You making up stuff. I don't believe you. I believe if she called right now, you're gonna be like, "Hey, what's up, baby?" I feel that's what you're gonna do. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and be in your peace, and we're gonna get somebody else up in here that might be telling the truth. Let's see what she got to say.
Do some of y'all sound arguing about who's the prize, man or woman?
I am the prize. I don't care what you say. I am the prize. Okay. I don't care what you say. I'm the prize. Okay. Then go ahead.
Do you understand how cringy y'all sound?
I'm the prize.
How arrogant y'all sound? Y'all love to eat up this content about healing and equality and all this shit. And y'all go out and say some dumb shit like, I'm the prize.
I am the prize.
You are a human being. Men, women, all humans. No one is above anybody else.
I am the prize.
You are not above a man. A man is
yes, I am.
Prize. But I thought we weren't objects.
I'm the prize.
Talking about, oh, I'm the prize.
I am.
We're not objects. Then stop talking about yourself like you're one.
I am.
It's making no goddamn sense.
Yes, it does.
You can say I'm worthy. Everybody's worthy.
Don't nobody even drink Arizona iced tea no more, ma'am.
Everybody is worthy. Think of that. Everybody, right?
And your mama white. I could tell.
See, y'all love to spread peace, light, love, and positivity, but then go out saying some narcissistic, arrogant ass shit like, I'm the prize.
I am the prize.
You're putting yourself above people.
That's why I don't date light-skinned women right there. See, could you imagine her and I having a conversation? I am the prize. Is she trying to tell me I'm not? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You can't tell me what I'm not.
That's disgusting. And y'all love to sit up here on TikTok and talk about how to spot a narcissist. Look in the fucking mirror. If you're saying some shit like that, women are the prize, men are the prize. You're having narcissistic tendencies. If you part of this stupid gender war, please check yourself.
What you mean? I got a cookie.
Because it's getting out of hand. It's giving grandiose sense of self. It's giving narcissism. It's giving, I think I'm better than everybody else.
I think I'm better than everybody.
Touch some grass, because I promise you, ain't nobody the prize. It's not that deep. It's never that serious until it is. Half of y'all are complaining about things that don't even apply to you. Ain't nobody out there telling you you're not the prize. Whoever told you that? You ain't even got close enough to a human being for them to tell you that you're not worth it.
I don't know what they say.
You know about Delulu? This shit's fucking Delulu.
First of all, I got
high prize. Ain't nobody the fucking prize. We are all human beings. We're all worthy. We're all deserving of love. Blah, blah, blah. Toxic positivity shit. We really are. Stop putting yourself above other human beings just for the sake of your own ego.
No,
that's why half of y'all can't even find relationships, because your ego is inflated. Oh, I'm picky. No, you're not picky. You're egotistical. And this is coming from somebody who has a big ass ego. Okay?
Oh,
but at least I don't say shit like that.
You got big, okay, so you think you're better than everybody. But go ahead, girl.
I'm working on mine. Maybe you should check yourself before you out here in these comments like, well, women are the prize. I'm not the prize.
Not a me problem.
No one's the fucking prize.
Your face is ugly when you do that.
You're just a human being. Maybe you're tall, maybe you're short, maybe you're fat, maybe you're skinny. Maybe you have mental disorders, maybe you're neurotypical. We all got shit. We all got issues. Ain't nobody for the prize. No one's better than the other person. Okay, women are not better than men. Men are not better than women.
Okay,
we're better at certain things than men. They're better at certain things than us. But we, as a collective, we're not better than.
The prize.
We are just better at certain things. Does not make you the prize.
Blah, 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 blah.
I know plenty of men out here who are way more emotionally mature than I am.
Whatever.
Being brief when it comes to this, but this is a part of a conversation that I feel like we're not getting anywhere with. The conversation about safety when it comes to men and their emotions. Absolutely. We all should be able to provide a space that is emotionally safe and secure for both of our partners. But we cannot continue to point the finger at a specific, especially for men. We cannot continue to point the finger at your woman if she has tried. Sometimes the reason why you do not have the safety is because you will not allow the safety. There are so many instances where we have seen men who have tried to remain with this stoic demeanor, who have a fear of vulnerability, who perceive.
I ain't about to be out here crying for you, girl. What's wrong with you? You tripping. You don't even want the man out here crying like that. That's too goofy.
That if they express emotions, they perceive that they're going to be seen as weak. And so because of.
They will be seen as weak if they out here crying and boo-hooing. I'm just telling you, but go ahead, keep talking.
That they won't express their emotions, they won't share their thoughts, they won't express their concerns, but yet they scream and they cry and they constantly tell their woman.
Because the minute we start talking about our emotions, then your little vagina dries up and you see him as less than a man. And you'll be cheating with the quiet dude down the street. That act tough. Don't lie to me. Don't lie.
That they need the safety. How can she grant you safety if you will not allow yourself to move forward to actually speak to her about what it is that you're going through?
Ain't nobody about to speak to their woman about what they're going through. She don't want to hear all that. What's wrong with you, girl? You obviously don't know what it's like to be a man. Stay in your lane.
Not continue to put responsibility on one person in a relationship. Eventually, you all are going to have to understand that the lack of communication, the poor communication that you have.
Baby girl, let me just explain something to you right now. Whatever book you read that told you that this is what men need and this is what men need to do, you need to throw that book in the fireplace. That's what you need to do. Because no woman wants to hear her man sit up crying and complaining and boo-hooing. Men don't even want to hear women sit up crying and complaining and boo-hooing and talking about, we call it nag. We don't want to hear all that. Women don't want to hear that man sitting up there crying and about how life is hard. And they don't want to hear it. They don't. That'll turn them off. I hope you're not telling your son this. Because his girlfriend is going to cheat on him every time she has an opportunity to. But go ahead.
It's what's causing a lot of the problems in your relationship. I'll tell you one thing. Whenever you are expressing how it is that you feel, it should not be followed with a character attack. Sometimes, because we're big on I feel statements, but sometimes I feel statements can be you statements in disguise. When you say, I feel like you just don't give a dang about me.
I ain't about to say all that to nobody. They don't feel, if I got to articulate that you don't feel a dang about me, then that means I already know you don't feel a dang about me, and I'm gonna act accordingly. We need to not be together. Okay, some people are just not supposed to be together, just like some people are not supposed to be married and some people are not supposed to be in a relationship, ma'am. And you got to put your big girl underwear on and just face that. Okay, and that's another thing for everybody listening out here. Some people just shouldn't be in relationships. Some people are not relationship ready. Okay, that's what you need to. Your Boaz is not coming. Your Ruth is not coming because you ain't Boaz and she ain't Ruth. You like I don't know. You like a damn some kind of wild animal out there or something. You need to be free. But go ahead.
I feel like you just don't care.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't love me.
If you feel like that, it's probably true. I'm just saying.
That stuff like that is still accusing a person. that right there is still putting words.
It sound like you trying to make somebody like you that don't like you. That's the problem. But go ahead.
In a person's mouth.
This is why I don't talk about relationships. It's just too much common sense missing in this modern stuff. It's just too much.
On top of that, if you lead with an I feel statement, or if you lead with a statement and you immediately start attacking a person's character, or you're being patronized.
I feel like she try to make people like her a little bit. I'm just saying. See how her hands look? She look like she hit real hard, and she might grab you. And she comes across as somebody that's gonna force you to like her. Just a little observation. Okay, she's not the type of person you want to make mad. I can see she look heavy-handed. She look like if she pressing her daughter's hair next to the stove, then the top of that little girl ear is gonna be burned. There's gonna be a little burn right here too. That's what it looks. She look heavy-handed. Okay, look like she be making people like her that don't want to like her right then. That's what it looked like. But go ahead.
Or condescending. Now this person has to defend themselves. So how can they receive you when now they have to defend themselves? And a lot of people would do that, so they will defend themselves, so it'll take away from what the bigger issue actually is. You speaking to a person is just as important as them listening, and you have to speak in a way to where they can understand you and they can fully receive you, because yes,
I'm not even that complicated. All you got to do is cook me some food, leave me alone, let me get back to my job. That's all you got to do. All this, and I don't understand how it's this damn complicated. I mean, golly, but go ahead. All these emotions, fellas, all these emotions. When did y'all develop? I mean, I love you, brothers, but too many emotions. You don't need to share all these emotions with women. I tell my sons, the first lesson I taught them was to control your emotions. Okay. That's the first thing. I've been running that into their brains since they was 1, 2 years old. But go ahead.
You do have to acknowledge that certain things that you say may trigger a person, and you have to understand that the way that you say certain things sometimes can disrupt the person's emotions, can disrupt their nervous.
No, get out of here.
Wants me to make me feel like I'm a big back, but I'm not.
So big back.
Just put it in perspective. Anyway, so I'm tired of guys saying that women, you chose wrong, you chose wrong. Y'all, nobody's choosing well. Not even married people are choosing well. Like married people, the real deal is that we were never supposed to choose in the first place. And let me explain this. But
what she about to say is that who you married used to be a group decision by the people that love you the most, your family and folks like that. But go ahead, baby.
But let me break down, like, a lot of married people are poly now. They have open marriages or living in different houses.
Marriage? If you got what's that word that lady said earlier? What did she say? Horror. That if you got a poly marriage, you mean you messing around with multiple people? That's not a marriage. That is you are a brothel. That's what you are. You are not.
They got side pieces. They're talking to people. They're emotionally cheating. So
why even get married? What are y'all married for? If you're gonna do all that, just be out there in them streets. What's the point?
They're miserable. So not even married people are choosing well either. Like
that ain't choosing well, baby. You just community property at that point. You go ahead.
Most people men aren't choosing well. That's why y'all be on these podcasts so angry, snapping off. Because we were never supposed to choose. You guys keep forgetting our history, and our history was that back in the day, number one, we were very community oriented. Like we had a whole community, and we lived in that community, and we were raised in that community. And because of a lot of segregation and things that happened or whatever, we
kept our black butts together. But go ahead. That's what segregation did.
Knew everybody from that community. And now what's happening is that we don't know anybody. Back in the day, our families knew other people's families. So they already kind of knew your history. And best believe if you came around and your daddy was whooping on your mama or your mother was...
They just took a left turn real quick, sir, ma'am. Your daddy I thought we was talking about relationships. With your daddy damn, call what you gonna do? Call somebody.
Was running around throughout the whole neighborhood. You probably wouldn't be invited back to date a decent family's daughter or son. Okay, back in the day, the fathers weeded out all of the men who seemed to be conniving and sneaky and didn't seem like they.
No, they just
beat their butts. That's what they did. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Would make a good husband.
Mm-hmm.
Half the time.
Most of the men was not necessarily good husbands. I'm gonna tell you that. Most of them women, grandma didn't tell you everything that granddaddy was doing. She didn't tell you. And she knew he had a woman around, another woman across town, Betty Lynn. Okay, and Betty Lynn had 2 kids born. Okay, she knew that, but she didn't tell you all that because that was none of your business. You was a child, and you need to stay in the child's place. And what she also didn't tell you, you know your Uncle Larry? No, not Larry. We talked about him. Your Uncle Mervin. Mervin ain't really for your granddaddy. Okay, that's what you need to know. Your grandma stepped out, and she got with a man. Okay, she got with a man, and they were together for a little while, and she got pregnant, and her and granddaddy got back together, and she never told him. But that Uncle Mervin, that's why his nose look like that. His nose don't look like the rest of them. That's why. So both of them old people were doing. You don't know what them old people doing. Take a DNA test. Go take one of them DNA tests. You would see just what I'm talking about. And passing my teeth. For real though, man. Uncle Mervin, grandma stepped out too. Them old people was doing all kind of stuff. That's why I'm telling you. No one size fits all. All of these nostalgic trips down memory lane about what men used to be like, what women used to be like. Y'all was together because y'all had to be together. Y'all, it was segregation. That's why y'all was the most married group. You was segregated and you couldn't go nowhere. Okay, you had sun downtown. You had to stay your butt there. Okay, but they were still doing the same stuff they doing. They just didn't have the internets. They didn't have Al Gore's internet, so they can get on the internet and talk crazy about each other every day, put their business out in the street. Can you imagine if your grandma had YouTube back in 1935 and she can tell it? Ooh, all your business will be out there in the street. Keep on going.
If they knew because you had a father in the home, a lot of those men wouldn't even come around your daddy. They wouldn't even come to your house because they knew that your dad would sniff them out, or they knew they didn't have good intentions.
Your daddy knew all them kids. Your daddy was gambling with his daddy and his uncle. You not talking about the same black community I'm from. Look, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You clearly are not talking about the same black community I'm from. First of all, we all knew each other. We still all know. I bet it's about half the people on this internet that I know right now through somebody else. We know of each other. We know their names. They all went to the same church. They all went to the same fraternities. They all know each other. School teacher, they know everything. We all know each other. You can't say that. We knew who we were dealing with. Look, a man didn't have to do too much. Get on out there, work in the fields. If you're a porter, be a porter. Most men work with their hands. They put you to work. You see? It didn't take that much being a man. You was a man at 14. You understand what I'm saying? So, baby girl, that's all right, baby. Go ahead, keep talking, baby. Go ahead.
If you didn't have your dad there, you had your brothers that were going to do it, or your uncles, or your cousins, or your mama's brother.
Right.
And then for the men, back in the day, Nana, grandma, and the mom was like, that woman can't come back here.
I mean, what they gonna do? They live next door to each other. I look, baby. See, here's the thing. I'm old enough to know what a lot of you folk don't know, and I know black people better than most people know black people. I know the inside and the outside, the city folk and the country folk. I done heard all the stories. I done seen it all. You see what I'm saying? And for the most part, it's not like that. You ain't just gonna be. We don't have social status like that. How can daddy put out your new boyfriend and he got a whole nother family across town? And granddaddy got 2 or 3 kids and he ain't tell about it. They just walked out the marriage, walked from one state to another state, got a whole nother set of kids somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody was back there judging anybody. Grandma had 2 husbands before she got with your daddy, and she only 20. and got 3 kids. Nothing's new under the sun. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Nobody was out there judging anybody. People were doing what they had to do. We just put these folk up on the pedestals like that. And then the other thing you got to understand is after folk get a little older and they start sitting in the front pew of the church, they get holier than thou. But what you didn't know is that back in the 40s, grandmama was out there bad. She was in the juke joint every week, okay? She just found Jesus later on in life. You understand what I'm saying? She found Jesus later on in life. Grandma had a life too. You'd be shocked. You understand what I'm saying? So stop putting these human beings that gave birth. You want to know where you got it from? You got it right from her. That's where. And he got it, and he got it from his granddaddy. You understand? People have not changed. The environment has changed, and that's what I want to get to when I get through having this festival of fun and love that I'm having right now. I'm gonna get to some real teaching, but let's finish.
Because you were picking these IG models back in the day. They weren't IG models back in the day, but
there was Fannie Mae, and her sister and them. That's who they was picking. Okay, that's who they were picking. That fast Fannie, that goddamn fast Fannie done laid up with damn repeat, or laid up with him. He's supposed to be here and with me, and he was goddamn fast Fannie over there across town on the other side of the bridge. Somebody type fast Fannie in the chat room.
You were picking these, women based on their looks and how to, and they were kind of too hot to, to try. And they
didn't have makeup back then. Nobody was hot, baby. It wasn't nobody hot. Okay, they didn't have makeup. You trying to impose your little modern day 2025 views on what was going on back in the 50s and the 40s. They was not hot. They did not have makeup. Okay, everybody little hair was up on the top of their head like that. They might have brushed it down a little. They were not hot. Okay, they were not hot. I'm trying to help you understand. And they didn't shave. That's another thing you need to understand. But
that they weren't really going to make a loyal woman for you. They weren't going to blend in with the family. They weren't going to have your back or whatever. But see, that helped us weed out because number one, a lot of times we were too young to make wise decisions when we were making decisions. And sometimes you can't see.
You was winning at first, baby girl, but now you just
because people in general, male or female, cannot see the wisely the person in front of them. Some people can, but that's only about 10% of the population.
All right, let's see what else you got to say. I'm done with
that. Hand in dating, where they get to be choosier and more selective about their partners. They don't have to commit. They absolutely take advantage of it. And our culture has adapted to that norm. At this point in 2024,
men have the advantage in the relationship. Men. You just saying all men. So let me get this straight. He's 5'8", 273 pounds with no job. Now you saying he has the advantage? Huh? He got bad skin and no money. Shout out to Cody Mark. You saying he had? You can't just say all men. Some men have an advantage. Some men. They're the men that a lot of women find attractive. They might have it, not all men.
Or we have generations of young Black men who have been raised by people with the same ideology that there's just not enough of them as there are for us. For us, I mean women. And so you get.
But it don't matter if you're a short, fat dude and you're bad built. You ain't got no money. It don't matter if it's a lot of women. No, none of them want you. That's what you need to. None of them want to talk to you. None of them. Your breath hot, you're ugly, you got a bad haircut, okay? They don't, none of them want you. It don't matter just because you act like just because it's 10 women in the room and 10 men in the room, they supposed to pay off. That's not how the real world works, baby. At all. That's not how it works. The real world works, it's gonna be several women that like the same man. And they would rather fight those women for that same man than fool with this other dude that none of them want. That's how it works. That's the real world. But I don't go ahead and keep this. Why you don't listen to these young. This is not even common sense. Okay, this is the problem with the gender war. You got all these people who don't actually have any experience with any substantial, long-lived, deep, abiding relationship. They don't even know what they're talking about.
into things like competition over men, man sharing, looser requirements for things.
You don't think that was around before?
Like marriage.
I have things to add.
Yeah, they had that, brother.
Let's talk about Alexia's first
not
point about
about
the
to
gender
sit up and read this small ass type, sir. I'm not
imbalance
about
of there being more black women than there are black men.
No,
or just more women than
we
men in
gonna
general
go ahead.
for everybody's racial groups.
No. You know what we gonna do?
You can type this into Google. Major changes in black family structure by Washington Post. This was published in 1997.
Right now. Yeah.
So very shortly, very informative.
Look it.
To Kaya's coming for you.
That's
Wake
right.
up and make your man some breakfast before I do.
That's why y'all hate her. Go ahead, baby.
Cooking with Kaya. Cooking with Kaya. Cooking with Kaya. Cooking with Kaya.
Let's stay for a while.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need this. See, all that. This will end all that gender war. Start cooking, baby. Yeah, cooking with Kaya. Cooking. I'm gonna be serious in a minute, but I'm gonna have me a little fun because them other people was dry. Let me put my own music on. Get the movie. Keep doing what you're doing, cooking with Kaya, girl. Look at that. Look at that. Look, I'm just saying, we can do a gender war. We need some more cooking with Kayas out here. That's what we need. We don't need no more of these. we don't need no more of that other stuff. She ain't talking a lot. Okay, she's not even talking. She's just in there cooking. Show me some more food. Show me some more. Yeah. I want you to understand something. She got the little tattoos. Okay. You got a little bit of GloRilla, and you got a little bit of housewife up in here. Okay? Look at that. Yeah, a little bit of love. That looks delicious. Okay? Delicious. I'm not gonna even lie. That is delicious looking. Yeah, keep on going. Keep on going. Look, cooking with Clyde, girl. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, cooking with Kaya. That's right. Yeah. I don't need to see your booty. I like to eat. Give me that food back. Yeah. See this right here? It don't matter if you go to work with a briefcase or a hard hat. You want to come home to that. That's it. Look at her. Look at her in there cooking. Yeah. Go ahead. You know what you're doing. With that milk, I don't know where you get all that milk from. I got lactose intolerance. I can't eat all that. Hold on. Some potato. Yeah. Yeah. He is cooking and cooking and cooking. Yes. Keep on cooking, baby. Keep on cooking. Let's see what else we got. What else we got?
Woke up beautiful again and craving attention, so I decided to make some bitches mad from scratch.
Oh, did you? Oh, hold on a minute. What did you say?
This morning I woke up beautiful again and craving attention, so I decided to make some bitches mad from scratch.
That's why they hate that her. That's why they hate her so bad. That's why y'all mad at her.
So I decided to make some bitches mad from scratch.
That's why they mad at the little lady. I'm just happy to see a little young black lady getting all this attention. I like that. I like this. I like this. A real. Go ahead. Yeah, what you cooking though? That's all I want to see. I ain't worried about the little. Yeah. Go ahead, cook.
I bet she like me. She keep rubbing on my belly. Get the.
No, where the food at? Where's the food, Kaya? You said cooking with Kaya. That's why I'm here. Man, I want the food. No, I want the food. Don't play with me. I'm a large man. I like the cooking and the eating part. I don't want to see all that. Let's see what else you got.
Second video.
Okay.
Eating with Kaya. Eating with Kaya.
Okay, let's see what you got.
With Kaya.
You keep throwing your booty around. Go to the food now. I don't have time for that.
So today I actually cooked the food and I didn't eat out. We got some steak fajita quesadillas with homemade sauce. I don't know what to call the sauce. It's similar to like chipotle vinaigrette sauce.
I don't trust the little sauce.
First, we're gonna see how much pull the cheese has.
Let's look at it. That looks delicious. Nice consistency.
Ooh, that's what we like to see.
Yeah, we can. Okay. Review them
try
all.
without the sauce, just to get all.
Now you need to dip it in the little cheese stuff. Okay, is it good? Is it good? All right.
I can't really eat my own cooking. I can't eat my own taste because I like to dip a little bit when I'm eating. It looks, oh yeah, yeah. You can, yeah. See, she good. Her, she good. We need more of that. We need more of that. I done ran out of water. But go ahead. Now you wrong for eating your little food in front of all these people. You know they're hungry. They're gonna leave my podcast and go watch.
Meat by itself.
I ain't about to play with you, but that is delicious. You did good.
Very juicy.
You did good. Notice that she doesn't have a lot of makeup on. You know, she's not. She's definitely has a normal looking, but not all that other stuff. You got some little tattoos and everything.
Flavor is so good.
Y'all probably sound like, what the hell does this have to do with ending the gender war? I'm gonna get to it. You know, I like to land my plane late. Keep them going.
Sauce, like it tastes so good.
It's delicious looking. You did a good job. I don't really like the Mexican food too much, but to give me gas. But let's see what else you got. But it looks good. You're doing good. You're doing real good. What else you got going on over here?
Baby daddy, cause he
hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Where is the cooking with Kaya video?
fuck with me. Baby daddy, baby daddy, baby daddy, baby daddy, baby daddy, baby daddy, baby all that baby daddy point my cow. Baby daddy, baby daddy, baby daddy, baby 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 baby.
No, seriously though, she seems like a lot of fun. She's feminine. She cooks. She seems like a lot of fun. Okay, look. Probably, I bet she don't have a master's degree.
You was not my eye. You just mad about a nigga.
You know what I'm saying? And she got a lot of men looking at a video. Okay, so what does that tell you all? Number one, I like the fact that there are black men out there who are just admiring black women. Hold on a minute. Did you hear what she's about to say? Hold on a minute. Say what you just said.
Did someone feed you tonight, or does Kai have to? Welcome to another video.
See that? Now that's bragging on your cooking skills. That's amazing. Go ahead.
Kaya.
Cooking with Kaya.
Cooking with Kaya. Cooking with Kaya.
Oh man, shout out to my man Eddie D. Oh man, shout out to Eddie D. Look, man, let me I want y'all to understand something, man. There's a method to the madness, and I'm about to get to the nitty-gritty in the business in a minute. But check out some of these comments. Okay, here's some funny comments and whatnot. Like I've seen a couple of these, and this is a story that's been around. Look, this guy. Ladies, this is what men like. This is the whole point of this. This is what men like. It's not that complicated. Any man that can't appreciate you for some good cooking skills and a good attitude, I mean, golly, he missing out. But listen to this man.
Hey, everybody.
See the woman
I just want to let you guys
look up in the right-hand corner. You see the woman with a pot and the phone. She holding a skillet over his head. Fair use.
That I will no longer be watching Cooking with Kaya because Cooking with Kaya.
Stop looking off and say exactly what I said. Say what I said.
I will no longer be watching Cooking with Kaya because Cooking with Kaya is very disrespectful to my lady. And if I'm going to watch anybody shake their booty and then cook, it's going to be my lady. So from here on out.
Now, if you listen to the gender war rhetoric, they will tell you that black men don't like black women. Isn't that true? But somehow this young lady, and look, she's a beautiful young lady, but she looks pretty much like every other black woman in America looks. She doesn't have a nose job. She doesn't have that BBLs. She looks like any other black girl her size. That's how they look. So what does that tell you? That tells you being your normal self is fine. That's just what I'm just saying. Let's just roll through this. She's a young, I don't know, she got to be in her early 20s or something like that. But keep listening.
I will be in the kitchen with my lady when she cook. And
say what I said.
I forget.
Do you need me to hit you with this pen? No, say what I said.
Don't get hit, dog.
I can't watch her no more because
why?
It's not right. And
it ain't right.
I'm only gonna be watching my lady cooking. So I gotta say the slogan too.
Yes, you do.
Oh,
man.
So I gotta do the deal.
Yes.
So and I'm only gonna be watching her
Oh, fella.
And her slogan is cooking with Slim K. Cooking with
Slim K.
That's what I thought. You did great. You did great.
Ah, that is
now,
hilarious.
who you going to be watching?
I gotta say it again.
Who you going to be watching?
Okay, you better say it before she hits you with that pot. That's a non-stick pot. Snatch it right back off and hit you upside your head again. Let's some more. Let's talk about some more. Go ahead.
But Kaya is just another example that y'all ain't really girls. And I just love how y'all keep exposing yourself that the girls thing ain't real. I've been saying the girls thing wasn't real for a long time, and everybody thought that I was just being mean. But now everybody's finally getting to see that I wasn't being mean. I was being honest. It's not real.
What you mean?
Y'all are mad, and I'm gonna say jealous at the fact that there's a bunch of men making videos talking about how attractive this cooking with Kaya girl.
Now, y'all told me that black men were not attracted to black women in their normal selves. Y'all told me, ladies, we fighting over this gender war. Y'all told me that black men like Latinas, white Latinas, they like white women, they like Asian women. But apparently, this young lady who is really cooking in her regular kitchen, looking pretty normal as far as a black woman looks. Okay, yes, she's young, yes, she's thin. Okay, but at the end of the day, she's clearly a black woman. And you got literally millions of men saying how attractive she is. Black men. So what does that tell you? Huh? It tells you that this gender war is manufactured, because when the metal hits, when the rubber hits the road, black men are attracted to black women, apparently.
Girl is. And she is a nice looking girl with a nice natural body.
Natural.
And y'all are sitting up talking about, I don't get the hype. I don't get the hype.
You don't get the hype because you've been led to believe through the internet that men like BBLs. And you've been programmed to believe that, right? Your entertainers from Cardi B to all the rest of them have made you believe that you're not attractive if you don't have a BBL. You plain. What did they used to call it back in the day? You basic. Okay? That's what you've been trained to believe. But go ahead. You've been lied to. Okay, let's keep going.
Let me sit you down and look you in your face when I tell you this. It's not for you to get the hype. It's not for you, right? If men are getting online and saying that they find her to be attractive, you questioning why they find her attractive is weird.
Because they like
these men keep telling y'all that they like natural women. They want a naturally attractive girl with a nice fit body. She fits all of that. She got.
What's the fight for, ladies? Why are we fighting if black men are telling you, hey, we like black women? We're fighting because you've been lied to by the media. You've been brainwashed to believe you're not good enough. You've been brainwashed to believe that you should have low self-esteem because your own men don't want you. And then this little lady pops up in November and everybody is glued to the scene,
Got a nice natural face. She got a nice natural body. Right? But y'all are so hung up and so brainwashed by these BBL outrageous proportion bodies that you just find it so hard to believe that men could just like a natural fit body. Like you can't fathom that because you're so brainwashed that you think that out of.
You can't blame black women because this has been pumped through the media and all these social systems. They've been trained to believe that. Same way that black men have been brainwashed by the same system. That's what we need to understand. And see, once we recognize where this is coming from, then we can adapt. But see, here's this whole cooking with Kaya phenomenon does a lot more for black women's self-esteem, especially as far as concerned with as far as they're concerned, is whether or not black men are attracted to them than anything else.
Proportion body is what everybody wants because that's what you want. That's what you think look good, right? You think all that makeup with them bust down wigs is what
they've been told that all that makeup with the bust down weaves is what makes them look good. They've been brainwashed to believe that. That's what I'm trying to explain to you, baby. Go ahead.
Because that's what you like, right?
They've been like that. What they like. They've been trained to believe that this is what they like. They've been programmed. Okay,
the way to look. You like that Ari look, so you assume that that's what every man must fantasize about. No, it's not. It's not, and they keep telling y'all that. But again, because y'all are still so silly and stupid that you keep mixing in.
They're not silly and stupid. Okay, it's not that black men or black women are silly and stupid. They've been brainwashed, they've been programmed. That's what you need to understand. 80% of people can be easily programmed. There's psychological studies that show you the CIA, FBI, they've been programmed, they've been brainwashed to believe that. But let's keep going.
What men like to sleep with, what men lust after versus what men actually like. Because you still can't separate that in 2024. You still keep defaulting to this BBL bust down Instagram bag look as being every man's dream. And it's not, it's your dream. You want to.
This is the problem with cooking with Kaya. Don't nobody care that y'all men want a woman with a nice natural body and a pretty face. You know that?
Don't nobody care. Obviously, there are women that do care. That's why they have nice natural bodies and pretty faces, ma'am. Hater.
It's normal. But the problem is the fact that y'all want that type of woman to go half on bills.
Don't nobody want cooking and shit. They gotta go half on bills. What you talking about? Not her. No, not her. All she got to do is cook that food and do that little dance. And it don't matter if you got a hard hat or a briefcase. You're going to be happy. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be you can have a stuff. You come home as a medical doctor. You happy to see Cooking with Kaya cooking some food for you. What are you talking about?
Like, ain't nobody.
I'm thinking for men, too. That's another thing. Stop trying to tell men what we want. We know what we want. They showed you what they want.
About to be doing all that. Yeah, here's your food, babe.
You
catering to you and doing all that when
you jealous. That's what you just jealous.
In the equation for her.
You jealous. You very, very jealous because you don't have that Cooking with Kaya vibe. I can tell you probably can't.
Like, I would rather live by myself than live with a
live by yourself.
Like, living with y'all is really like living with kids.
Live by yourself then. Let us
stay in shape. All that. Have y'all kids.
All that. You mad. All up in your car. Mad and jealous. That's what you are. Okay? With your little Marshall's overthrow sweater on. There you just mad. That's what it is.
Asking these women to move in with you.
You jealous.
Spot to help you pay your bills.
You are speaking from personal experience, ma'am. Clearly, you are letting your truth come out. Okay? And this is your personal experience. Cooking with Kaya don't have them problems. Okay, she show up like this with Cooking with Kaya. Everybody like, yeah, you won. Whatever argument we was about to have, it's a wrap. You won. Especially if she sit down and let them eat. And then she start doing a little booty dance like that. She won. She won all arguments.
She could go somewhere and get on OF. She could go somewhere and dance. She ain't got to be.
Why you want to put on OF? She don't need OF. She got Cooking with Kaya. Don't you think? Look, baby, we rather look at food than look at some woman's little stinky booty. These days, we are hungry out here. We are hungry out here in these streets. Okay, so you need to cut it out.
Bother with you? That's the problem. The going half on bills part is the problem.
Anybody who lips go down like that, where they talk. Anybody who lip, you don't trust nothing they say. First of all, she messy. Look at her lip to go down like that. Don't trust her at all. Go ahead.
Y'all asking for top notch, but want her to help you with
your. Want her to help you? No, don't nobody want to help you. That's why you mad out here. You mad. You out here mad. Don't nobody want to help you. You mad because you was like, it's that easy. All I had to do was just get on the internet and just start cooking, and I could have had all this attention and money. That's what happened. That's why you mad. Speak for yourself.
No. Like,
so goofy self. It's your goofy self. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, somebody please explain to me what is so important. Why has this young lady Cooking with Kaya? Why has she sparked so much interest?
You know
on
why.
Social media?
You know why.
I watch videos. All I see is just
young,
fairly attractive girl.
Attractive.
And all she's doing is cooking dishes. She looks like she can cook very well.
Of black women see her as plain. She looked like they used to look when they were young before they start doing all that stuff to themselves. And they like, damn, I could have just stayed being me and throw a little salt and pepper and start doing some cooking. I didn't have to do it. I didn't need to get this master's degree. You mean that's all I had to do? So now they mad. Now they mad. She ain't all that. But you know what? That mac and cheese is all that. I can tell you that. That mac and cheese looks terrific. Okay? She can bring that
on Thanksgiving.
From the food I saw. And all she doing just bouncing around saying, cooking with Kaya, cooking with Kaya. And it seems like the younger men, it's a lot of older men too.
Older men like that. Every man is looking, babies like to look at that. I bet if it was a baby in the room right now, he'd be like, little drool coming, yeah, the babies like it. All men like, what you talking about?
Like they like her. They say, oh snap, she somehow became some kind of sensation.
She is a sensation. Okay, keep going.
And not only that, it seemed like to me, because men like her, these women have spawned up some deep hatred for this young lady.
Yeah, she cooking. She cooking. Don't nobody want to say it. She cooking and she enjoying it and she cute. They want her to go out there and be in that little 304 phase. You know what I'm saying? Look, go get dirtied up a little bit. Don't be all cooking and cleaning and in the kitchen clean too. But again, they've been lied to. Okay, you got to understand. They've been told we need to be strong, independent, and don't need a man. The system has told them they lie. And here she's getting all this attention, and all she's doing is just cooking. So it's messing with the programming. That's what I need you to understand. And so you can't blame the women for this backlash. You know, it's like if a dude that comes in, he got the money, the car, he got the six-pack, he rolling, it's gonna be some dudes hating on it. You see what I mean? Because like, damn, you know, that's competition. Damn, you know, golly, that's what it is. That's another thing.
For no reason at all.
How
is it that a woman bouncing around, cooking food, chanting her name can make you dislike her so much? And I don't think it's her that y'all dislike.
What is
y'all just don't like men that much. Anytime you see men that seem to be enjoying themselves, you got to just stop that.
Nah, they don't like all the men enjoying seeing that woman. That's what the problem is, brother. They don't like you like her. She ain't even that cute. That food don't even look good to me. You ain't even tasted it. Keep going.
Men can't enjoy nothing. All she doing is cooking some food. You
doing
more than how to cook.
She doing more than cooking some food now. She is out there showing off.
I don't know, like what? It ain't nothing to tell you. Cook.
This next video right here is I want you to check this out. This is a healthy take.
And then cooking with Kai.
After this, we're gonna go ahead and get to the lesson, okay? But let's go ahead. Let's hear what she got to say.
Yeah, cooking with Kaya. I have a hot take that I feel like nobody has been talking about due to the Cooking with Kaya uproar. By the way, I'm a Cooking with Kaya fan, and so is my man. We support her fully. I want to say something, y'all, because I feel like a lot of women, especially black women, you guys are attacking her like you're crazy. I don't know why.
Now, it's a lot more than just black women attacking her, because there's some white men out there, some Mexicans, Asian men. Men speak the same language, and they communicate in food. So it's not just black women. But go ahead.
But I want to say something that I haven't heard anybody say because it's just important. So one of the things that I always see a lot of black women, not all, but a lot of you guys are on this platform. Just type in black women hate men. You'll see the videos of them hating on black men at all costs. What's one of the things most black women have been saying on these platforms? Black men don't like us. Black men hate us. Black men don't uplift us. Did anybody else pay attention to the moment Cooking with Kaya came out? How many black men were on her, uplifting her? And then look at DDG put her on. And Ali Choppa made a video of her.
You understand what I'm saying?
But black men don't like us. Black men don't uplift us. Cap.
It's cap. I want you to understand that. Think about how important what she just said. Here we are. We have had a gender war brewing for 60 years, is it? 15? It's been very intense since the rise of social media. And if you would believe mass media, they would tell you, they would have you believe that black men don't find black women attractive, that they don't like black women, that they want to have nothing to do with them. But here comes this little lady, right? Here comes this little lady, a normal looking little black woman, beautiful, but just pretty normal as far as black women go. And you got basically men gawking over her, right? She's not singing songs. She's not stripping down to her skimmy. She's not on OnlyFans. All she's doing is cooking. And you got all these black men out there supporting her and showing her love and whatnot. So it tells me that the gender war, this animosity, is a lie. That's what it tells me. It tells me that it's manufactured. And I want you to keep that in. Out of respect, I'm going to let this lady finish.
False. You know how I know? I started my platform talking about men in general. Do you know who's the main men who supported me? Black men.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I make all of my content towards black men, because they're the only people who stood by me. Okay? Wait. Another thing. I find it very funny that a lot of black women like to say they only like wigs. They don't like natural. They don't like women like plain Janes.
That's because they've been programmed to believe that by the system. You understand what I'm saying? They've been programmed to believe that. Okay? They've been programmed to believe that black men are attracted to white women or women with these European features. But as you see, when push comes to shove, the majority of black men marry black women, and you also see, or women of African descent. And then you also see just raw, unfiltered internet response that black men find cooking with Kaya very attractive. So you've been lied to. Let's keep listening.
Cooking with Kaya has a natural body. Cooking with Kaya has natural hair. Cooking with Kaya barely wears makeup. No BBL in sight, no lip filler in sight, no weave in sight, no enhancement in sight.
Right.
Just straight feminine, nurturing, loving, catering, and a beautiful aura and beautiful spirit from the...
A beautiful black woman. And see, that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. You've been lied to so much by the system, you don't know what to believe. This whole gender war is manufactured. Okay? And that's the lesson that we're going to talk about tonight. Now, that being the case, we're about to learn something. We're about to dig deep into this, about to go down into it. All right, we're gonna have ourselves some things to take away from this. Now, that being the case, okay, as I've been saying, right, I gave you some history earlier. This gender war is manufactured. From the 1960s onward, black women were encouraged to voice their frustrations on TV and books and whatnot. We talked about that, okay? But see, at the end of the day, what you all don't know is the real gender war started between white men and white women. It was in the 1960s and 1970s. And they were upset because they lost their patriarchal grip over white women who were fighting for their independence. This wasn't even a black man, black woman thing. We were never supposed to be enemies. But the system made sure we became adversaries as opposed to allies. And the question you should be asking yourself is why? Because a divided community is easy to control. Then I've gone through a long way to prove to you that the system lied to black women. And now the lies are falling apart, largely because of the rise of social media. And we've had a chance to talk about it amongst ourselves. The government, the corporations, it fed black women a dangerous lie that they were strong, independent, and didn't need a man. Now, what woman on earth, as a group of women have said they didn't need their men? That is ridiculous and it's preposterous. So you know it's not true. But the thing is, they fed black women and made them believe that was empowerment. And it really was just about control. Women in the workplace provide a cheaper labor pool. More single mother-run households meant the government had more people dependent, okay? And the gender war kept us distracted, so we weren't fighting the real enemy, and that's the system itself. But now the system is crumbling right before our eyes. Look at these mass layoffs in Washington, D.C. Look at this corporate America is discarding women as soon as they become too expensive. And you were looking at basically the mass disenfranchisement of women. And it should, for the intelligent women in the chat room, it should force you to rethink this whole notion of independence. Okay? And the same government and corporations that told black women they didn't need us are now discarding you. See, the gender war was never about justice. It was never about equality. It was about power. And now that power structure is shifting again. Okay, now I'm gonna take a quick break. I gotta go get some water from my jelly jar, but we about to get really deep into this. I want y'all to understand, and hopefully by the time we finish, okay, and I know we got about 687 people in the chat room. You guys make sure y'all hit the like button, and if you learn something, then I should earn something. But other than that, if I'm not teaching you anything, you don't have to pay me anything. I'm gonna go get some water. I'm gonna be right back. Y'all hit the like button. We're gonna get deep into this. We're gonna follow up with Black people are finally waking up. And I'm gonna tell you what the voter election, the election of Donald Trump meant, and the fact that 86% of Black people voted for Kamala Harris, irrespective of the fact that she lost. But I'm gonna be right back. Y'all hit the #1 button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel already. I'll be right back.
It's a party going on. Hit the like, 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 hit the like. It's a party going on. We all looking at dinners. Scrolling and subscribing, only take you a minute. Hit the cash app, super chat, be a penny. One is real good, but 20 more will be plenty. Blizzard King pay a visit. Big Blast my witness. Appreciate the love that's Black men doing business. Stand up, father and brother, lawyer is he. Hall of Fame game, he's known as Uncle D. Tell it just I be, representing for we. We know time is money, you learning and pay a fee. Know it's cold outside, but the podcast hot. Giving you a feeling that these others ain't got. Say it's cold outside, but the podcast hot. Giving you a feeling that these others ain't got. Yeah, know that the blizzard come through. But no love for the winner, no this hit. Darren Hay watch views. Hit the like, you know that the blizzard come through. But no love for the winner, no just hit. Darren Hay watch views. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like.
We still look at all the beautiful music that we've created. That's what's on the inside of us. We are wonderful people. All right, so welcome back to the broadcast. I got myself a full cup of jelly jar full of water. And I want to begin to put things in context for you all, okay? They always try to say that Black men and women are divided. But the truth is, Black men and women are actually on the same page, especially when it comes to the things that are serious. 86% of Black voters supported Kamala Harris in this 2024 election. All right. So what that tells me is there's no real ideological divide between Black men and Black women. We're not at war with each other. Okay. In fact, we're stepping back together. So why is it that the media is trying so hard to make it seem like we're divided? Because they need us to fight each other. Because they need Black men and Black women to be distracted. Because they're panicking now that Black people are no longer blindly throwing ourselves into battles that don't serve us. Somebody type Black people are resting in the chat room. You have to be deaf, dumb, and blind if you haven't seen what's going on. People burning flags in the street, people cutting up and acting a fool. The uproar about the firings. And Black folks are like, we're good. We're resting. Somebody type Black folks resting in the chat room, right? Yeah. But what you have to understand is they will lie, they will manipulate, they will twist the narrative and make it seem as though Black men and the reason Black men and Black women aren't protesting or marching or fighting in the streets, is because we're not getting along or something like that. It's just truly a setup. Remember, right after the election, they were making it seem like a whole bunch of Black men voted for Donald Trump. Remember that? And it turns out it was only 21%. And even still, that was more than any other group of men voted for Kamala Harris, Black men. Now, not me. I voted for Trump because I want lower taxes and I'm not as nice and kind as you all. But the bottom line is it shows that Black people are on the same page. See, we don't have the luxury of these petty battles anymore. The world is changing fast, and if we don't adjust, we're going to be left behind. You hear all the stuff that we're talking about. The gist of our gender war is 50-50, and I don't want to date her because she's a couple of years older than whatever the wall is supposed to be. I just want y'all to think about that. I just want y'all to understand that. Okay? All right? See, the real fight is not between black men and black women. The real fight is between black people and the system that has spent centuries trying to keep us divided. You see, the real enemy is a structure that benefits from our dysfunction. So, to brothers, look, our job is not to continue forward with this argument. We've said everything we have had needed to say in the past. How long has Facebook been around? How long has MySpace been around? 20 years. We've said everything we need to say. Okay? Our job now is to rebuild ourselves. Okay? Shout out to TD Harden. Become the best men we can be. Protect those who fit the requirements to qualify for our protection, and lead those who adhere to our leadership. Okay? You can't lead nobody that don't want to be led. Okay? Now, to the sisters, if you're ready to put the past aside and move forward, the vast majority of these black men will welcome you. Did you see the response that Cooking with Kaya got? She ain't out here with the lighten up skin and the fake eye contacts. She's not out here with the BBL. She doesn't have a master's. I don't know what the young lady has, but I'm assuming she doesn't have a PhD. She's a pretty regular looking black girl. Her superpower is that she's cooking and she do a little booty dance. And most of y'all can do a booty dance right now. Don't send me any videos, but I'm just saying. You understand me? So it obviously doesn't take that much. But see, if you still want to hold on to the narratives that have done nothing but keep us divided, shout out to Lavelle. If you still want to fight about things that no longer serve us, if you still want to fall into the same old traps, then you probably need to step aside, because black people are moving forward and we're moving forward together. See, brothers and sisters, the world we live in today is not the same as it was 10 years ago. Okay, it's not the same as it was, definitely not the same as it was 60 years ago. The luxury of abundance, the easy jobs, the guaranteed diversity quotas, the financial safety nets that many folk relied on, it's vanishing right before our eyes. See, the gender war was a luxury of easy living, okay? And it was fueled by these government policies and these corporate interests and these ideological movements, right? That no longer, they no longer serve. That's no longer the reality that we're in right now. See, for decades, black women and other marginalized groups, as they call them, they benefited from these DEI policies and affirmative action, and they got corporate hirings and the same system that encouraged the narrative of, I'm a strong, independent woman, I don't need a man. The government, the corporations, they'll provide, right? But that was never meant to last. That was just temporary. It was an arrangement. It was a tool used by a system to break up families, create a more controlled, dependent workforce. That's what it was. You don't have your man to depend on. Guess what? You better keep that job and you better be compliant. But as you guys know, the recent Supreme Court ruling from, I think, 2023, it gutted affirmative action. Okay. And after in the corporate world, you see it happening right before your eyes. It's shifting, isn't it? Isn't it shifting? You see these folk getting fired left and right. Target, all these different places. At this point, in America, it means we're going to hire white men first. The era of diversity hires is ending, and it's not speculation. It's already happening. Look at the companies across the country. Look at the backlash from the DEI against DEI and these other initiatives. These major corporations are eliminating whole departments. The federal government is eliminating whole departments. You got Florida, the state of Texas, they're leading efforts to roll back diversity programs. It's happening in Washington, D.C. They're no longer interested in being forced to hire for the sake of inclusion. They're going to go back to hiring what they believe in, quote unquote, married, which it really means hiring white people they want to be around. See, there was a time when black fathers taught their sons, you need to be twice as good and just to get half as far. And that was not rhetoric, it was a survival strategy. And America has always made that space for exceptional black folks, or exceptional anybody, those who exceed exceptions. But those people are few and far between. But now we're in a situation with that for decades, the government policies and these incentives that incentivize single motherhood through welfare program, child support, alimony, all that's being rolled back. Let's look at welfare reform back in the 1990s. Before that, from 1960s, 1970s, you had people on welfare for decades. Families, mothers, daughters, okay? But see, now we're in a situation where these new policies are pushing that even further back. You understand? And without these alternative financial support systems, a lot of women rely on, and they're going to have to go back to the family structure, okay? Or maybe they'll get some unemployment, but you know that runs out because the government handouts are gone. Even look at child support. You got a lot of child support reform going on recently. And this is because of the rise of YouTube. Men and social media, men have had an opportunity to express themselves. Remember, it's been going on almost 21 years. In Kentucky in 2021, automatic 50-50 custody. Automatic 50-50 custody. So this is the first state to implement a law favoring 50-50 custody by default. This means that dad no longer has to fight for equal parenting rights. And it reduces the automatic child support payments to the mothers. So you and I are going to be able to have women who just sit up on the child support anymore. Then you got these other states, including Arkansas, Missouri, Michigan. They are proposing to pass similar laws for shared parenting. Florida in 2023, child support and alimony reform under Ron DeSantis, he signed a law in 2023 to change the child support calculations to ensure that the dad shared custody and paid less child support. So what does that mean? That means mom is going to have to get back out in the system. And you got to take care of baby. And, I mean, you can't say, well, you got to pay me. No, you got to take care of that baby. So it's looking like, yeah, we're making it a little difficult to live that strong, independent woman lifestyle. So what is going to happen? Okay, another thing they did in Florida, they eliminated permanent alimony. So you can't get divorced from your man and then live off his money forever. So what does that mean? That means remember what I told y'all why black folks stayed together? Remember that earlier? They stayed together because they had to. See, if you incentivize people to get divorced, incentivize people to have children because they know they're going to get child support, then guess what they'll do? They're going to be a large percentage of people to do that. But what about when that option is limited? Well, you have to go back to your traditional role as a woman. Because you can't, they're not allowing you to separate that man from his money because you have a divorce paper, because you have a child. This is what's happening. Texas, right here, where I'm from, Father's Rights Movement got this gaining momentum. You got a lot of Texas lawmakers who are pushing for mandatory paternity testing at birth before the child is even, before you even get child support. They're gonna make you show that baby belongs to that baby daddy. Okay? And they're reassessing child support orders for financial fairness. So what's the impact? The impact is, number one, you're going to have a lot more fathers with equal parenting time, a lot more mothers who are not going to have full custody, and it's going to force them to share the financial responsibility, okay? And the most important thing you need to understand is going to influence people to say, hey, hold on a minute, maybe we need to consider this marriage thing again. And when we talk about alimony reform, it's not just in Florida. 2014 alimony in New Jersey. Well, my people from New Jersey, right? My people, they restricted the alimony to a number of years, so you don't get it forever. Same thing with Massachusetts. That was the first major alimony reform, right? One of the first states to get rid of lifetime alimony. You got other states following along: Utah, South Carolina, Alabama, Georgia. So if this is what's happening now, what's going to be going on in about the next 5 or 10 years? You see, look, this is what you need to understand. Okay. And I know I'm talking fast, but I want to get y'all out of here before it's too late. I don't want to have y'all in here at 12 o'clock. But the reality of marriage and future relationship. See, another thing, for too long, The mainstream narrative has pushed an unrealistic fantasy about relationships, that marriage should be about love, right? That financial security, you know, it shouldn't even be something that you're a gold digger if you're thinking about your man being able to pay. Okay? But on the flip side, they tell you a woman should never depend on a man. Okay? But what you need to understand is that throughout human history, marriage has been a contract. It's a partnership for survival. Okay? Legacy, mutual benefits. Romantic love is something secondary. Even in America, the modern concept of marrying purely for love has only been something normal in the past 150 to 200 years. People got together because they needed each other. You see? But when you have an artificial system, a government, corporations who come in and make it so that they don't need each other, of course you're going to have less marriages. All right? So now with the financial pressures mounting and the government assistance declining, and women, not just Black women, but all women being removed from some of these jobs and not given preferential treatment for some of these jobs, what we're seeing happening is they're going to be rebuilding the traditional family structure because that's your option, okay? Where men and women can come together and not conflict, but be together for partnership, for survival, stability. Look, you don't need to struggle alone. Right? In this system that's rapidly shutting doors on those who once believed they didn't need a man, that's what we're dealing with. Think about this. It's 2025, 5 years. They're saying nearly 45% of women are expected to be unmarried. That means you're going to be 5 years older and still unmarried. And that's not just an abstract statistic. That is a crisis. Okay? Now, if white women are going through a crisis, what does that mean Black women are going to be going through? A catastrophe. Many of these women are going to be looking for men to help provide security because that's what they're supposed to do. That's intelligent. Okay? Now, the great thing is, as you see, Black men are still open to Black women, despite the brainwashing and the lies that the mass media have told you. You see? Now, the truth is, a lot of men see marriage as a financial risk. They see divorce rates are remaining high. They're concerned about family courts. Okay? They're concerned about women leaving them. All right? They don't want to even talk to women sometimes because they don't want to be a creep. You got mass media and whatnot demonizing men, calling them toxic and obsolete. So what does that mean? That means women are going to be doing a little bit more like of the traditional stuff to make men say, well, you know what, I'm gonna risk the chance with her because, man, them collard greens look delicious. That mac and cheese looks outstanding. So that's why we need a little bit more cooking with Kaya. You understand? A little less GloRilla, a little bit more cooking with Kaya. And, you know, but the gender war is ending. It has to. Because it's a matter of survival at this point. And the other thing you got to understand is, again, we can't afford a gender war. Corporations are done funding the gender war. They're done propping Black women up, or women in general. Well, the white woman is going to go back to her man. All right? She's going to go have some babies and do what she got to do. She'll be back in about 50 years. The government is done funding the gender war. All right? The financial security that allowed the gender war to thrive is disappearing. And nobody in the Black community has time for this anymore. We're being distracted fighting each other, and we losing economic power. We're losing political influence. We're losing community stability. It's time to wake up. Ladies, let's have a serious conversation. I'm not going to sugarcoat or give you any feel-good speeches. Okay? All right? The reality is the world has changed, and the safety nets you once relied on are disappearing. The gender war, this idea that men are disposable and that women can do it all for their own, it was built on a lie. A lie by media, a lie by a corporate government, fed to make you a more docile workforce, easy to get along with. You can't tell a woman who's married too much. You got a man that's making money at home, she might quit. But if you out there with kids and no man to deal with, you got to stay. And at this point, corporate America is shifting back to merit-based hiring. They're gutting affirmative action. They're gutting DEI programs. And Black women will no longer have those hiring advantages that they once did, along with entering into school. We're looking at economic instability as forces companies to downsize, right? If you look at the Harvard Business Review study, found that during economic downturns, women, particularly Black women or minority women, are more likely to experience job displacement than men because employers prioritize retaining what they consider their core workforce. Shout out to Devon Mitchell, right? Now, what's the backup plan? Now that the system that supported your independence is withdrawing, what's the backup plan? You can't use the legal system. Child support has been, there's child support reform. You got alimony reform. You got men who are actually more willing to fight back in court. Okay. And in total, 50 states have introduced laws in the last decade aimed at reducing lifetime alimony. Okay. And marriage is no longer a financial parachute because of that. And so what's the incentive for men to sign up for it anymore? Very little. All right. If you look at the 2019 Pew Research Center study, it found that among men earning six figures or more, over 80% preferred younger women considering marriage. That doesn't mean you can't get one. It just means that's what they prefer. So it's time to make a decision. Okay? It's time to make a decision. And I need you to think about that. Now, this whole strong, independent woman era that was foisted upon you by media, look, it's a trope. They told you you didn't need a man. You can do whatever you want with no consequences, and you can be reckless and promiscuous, and you can be ratchet. But all of that is dying now. Not because men are forcing it to end, but because the reality of the world is forcing women to reconsider their options. For years, women in America, especially Black women, were sold the dream that they could behave however they wanted, reject traditional relationships, and still expect society to take care of them. That dream was once possible because of these first world luxuries that we have, these easy access jobs. You got government assistance, you got and culture that rewarded dysfunction over discipline. Shout out to Johnny Harris. Thank you so much, brother. But see, now the world is moving back to traditional values. The economic climate is shifting. The political climate has shifted overnight. All right. And if you want to look at some historical societies facing economic hardship, what did they do? They returned to family. During the Great Depression in the 1930s, single women struggled to survive. And many had no choice but to marry for economic security. After World War II, women who had been in the workforce, they were pushed back to traditional family roles. The men came back home and they reclaimed those jobs because, see, during World War II, you had, they got the woman with the little strong arm up there with the rag on her head. The women had to go to work. They had for the war effort. Okay, but when the men came home from war, they went back to the kitchen. They enjoyed the suburbs. It's an economic boom. Now, in developing nations today where resources are scarce, traditional gender roles dominate. In other words, third world countries. That's why when these brothers go overseas, they go to places like Dominican Republic, Colombia, Thailand. These women don't have the luxury of first world living, so they have to play those traditional gender roles. And so, of course, women prioritize marriage because otherwise they would literally be broke, a lot of them. They'd be homeless or they'd be living with their parents under their fathers and mothers for the rest of their lives. Okay? See, economic independence in these third world countries is a luxury, and it's only possible in wealthier countries. So what happens when we get a dose of that? Okay? See, there was a study that came out, Pew Research pointed out in 2021. It found that countries with economic instability has higher marriage rates. Okay. And the marriage rates increase while single motherhood declines because women can't afford to do it alone. That's the environment that we're running into. Ladies, it's not oppression, it's survival. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to hit is we're looking at the death of ratchet culture. All my ladies in the chat room, fella, let's start with the fella. Do you really want to see ratchet women in I know I got some freaky dudes up in there, but do you really want to see all that booty and cleavage and breasts bouncing around on your Instagram page all the time? Do you really want to see it? I don't want to see all that. I don't even want to hear all that music all the time where they talk about all that crazy stuff. I had to stop listening to hip hop because it's just so degenerate. Right? Now, ladies, y'all are not going to be out. Now, look, it's fun to do what you do every now and then and whatnot when you in the right places. But that's not even something that you find appealing. Like, do you think GloRilla is a good representation of this generation? I mean, y'all had Beyonce and these young girls got GloRilla. You understand what I'm saying? I want you to think that in mind. My generation had In Vogue. Y'all's generation had Beyonce. This generation got GloRilla and Sukihana. That is deplorable. And so for the past 20 years, this modern media of ours has been pushing these degenerate images of Black women, right? And in the meantime, feeding you the notion that women can just behave however they want. They can be as promiscuous as they want to be. They can be disrespectful. They can be reckless. They can be aggressive and still be able to attract a man. And y'all know that's a lie. And this ratchet behavior is only tolerated when a society is wealthy. The party girl, the hot girl, the city girl mindset, it only works in a stable economy where women can secure jobs and live comfortably without a man. When times get hard, when men no longer tolerate disrespect and promiscuity or this reckless sexual behavior, they choose women who show signs of stability and discipline and family values and nothing. What this means is it's going to be less GloRilla and more cooking with Kaya. Because see, women who show they can cook, they automatically are perceived as more stable. They automatically look like somebody you want to build a family with. Men are intuitively attracted to women who cook. The fact that she's cute just helps. Okay? Cooking signifies peace. It signifies nurturing. Okay? It means I can go home and win. But if you got these other ladies like a GloRilla, and I don't want to disrespect that young girl, but what I'm saying is she's just a symbolic of something, right? She's symbolic of the women who've embraced that dysfunction. That's going to be left behind. There was a study that came out in 2022, the study by the Institute of Family Studies, and it found that men overwhelmingly prefer traditional women for long-term relationships, while promiscuous or aggressive women are viewed as short-term options at best. What am I saying? I'm saying we need a little less GloRilla and a little bit more cooking with Kaya. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that you're going to need a little bit of both, but you're going to need a lot more of the other. Now, here's another thing you see coming, and I might offend some rainbow folk up in here, but you're also going to see a pushback against the LGBT movement. All right? Not all of them alphabets, but especially the L's. Okay? The luxury of exploring alternative lifestyles for women, right? In these difficult economic times. Women cannot afford to rely solely on another woman's financial security. Ladies, all the ladies in the chat room, do you feel like paying for a whole nother woman right now?
Okay, do you feel like you and your gal, y'all got together at the second year of college and y'all just buddied up and y'all decided to stay together, right? That y'all did. Y'all stayed together. But what you need to understand is in first world countries, women can experiment with these non-traditional relationships because you got financial security from jobs and government assistance. But when the job opportunities shrink and the economic hardships rise, women are going to have to return to traditional relationships with men, not because of ideology, but because of survival. So begin to ask yourself, is this stuff that you really wanted to do? Because if you really wanted to do it, you would do it, right? Turn up, go ratchet, have your girlfriend, whatever you're doing. Or is this, just think about that. Shout out to Penny Ford. Thank you so much, baby. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you. She said, okay, I'm going to read Shaka Khan. Yeah, Shaka, I'm going to read all the super chats in a minute. But here's what you got to understand. Men provide stability that women can't replace. Men are biologically and socially conditioned to provide and protect women, even in same-sex relationships. They struggle to provide the same level of security. Historically, lesbian relationships have had lower economic stability compared to heterosexual couples because two women earning separate incomes do not provide the same economic advantage as a male provider. Now, there was a study that came out by the Williams Institute at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. Shout out to the Bruins. Go Bruins, right? Anyway, lesbian couples have a higher poverty rate than heterosexual married couples because they have a lower combined income and fewer economic advantages associated with traditional marriage. Okay, so while women may have once felt comfortable rejecting traditional marriage and relationship, many are going to be forced to reconsider, not because of societal pressure, but because of economic survival. Do you know that lesbian racial relationships are the most violent? Shout out to Lavelle. I see why, because they poor. They need their money. They don't have no money. They're over there fighting each other with tampons and such. You understand what I'm saying? They're like, girl, you give me the, they broke. Over there fighting, trying to live. And on the flip side, the most stable, peaceful relationships are when dudes get together. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, isn't that some money? The money just messed up the love. Ain't no money, ain't no love. Now that being the case, I need y'all to understand all these economic issues are showing up, right? And I don't want you all to make a mistake. Black people, you got a lot of Latinos saying, you all the next. They about to eat y'all up. And I don't want you to make any mistake. Black people have always been on this country's racial menu of delicacies. You see, Latinos are now seeing what Black people have always known. ICE raids and deportations are rising in Hispanic communities, but they're only experiencing what Black people have had to deal with for centuries. They've been in it 4 weeks and they're already screaming and splaining and confessing and begging for help. 4 weeks. We have 400 years and they have 4 weeks and they ready to fall out. They're already out there burning flags. You see? See, this whole criminalization, this mass criminalization of people who just look Latino is very new for them on a nationwide level. But for us, it's been a status quo. You can get pulled over for driving while Black in any state of the union. Every day of the week, 24 hours a day, twice on Sunday. So what I'm saying is Black folks have always been the first target. Black people were the first to be redlined and segregated, over-policed and mass incarcerated. And now when the economy crashes and scapegoats are needed, who do you think they're going to blame first? Huh? Clearly, America is moving more towards racial targeting than less. Clearly.
So what we need to do is recognize that this whole gender war and us not getting along, this is passé. That's French for old. Look at that. Men are returning to traditional values. Women are gonna have to return to traditional values. And women who reject these traditional values are gonna get left behind. Okay? More importantly, we are tired of seeing black people fight with each other on the internet. Aren't we tired of that? Huh? Aren't we tired of seeing these people? Look, the next time you see these folk on the internet fighting with each other, I want you to tell them we are tired of seeing this. Hit them with that. So they'll stop watching their silly channels. That's what I need y'all to do. I need you to stop watching their channel. I need you to make this distasteful so we can get out of this. You understand what I'm saying? It's over. Shout out to everybody who contributed to the super chat to cash. I ain't finished. Okay, I'm not finished, but I do want to take the opportunity to give a big shout out to everybody who contributed to the super chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. All right, I'm not finished. I got some more to say. All right, but I want to make sure I get these folk in here while it's hot. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you should. I've been giving graduate school level dissertations for about a month straight now. And so you guys should make sure you subscribe to the channel. Show me some love by subscribing to the channel. Big shout out to Angie. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Van, for the Cash Apps. And I want to take the opportunity to thank my people who came through with the super chats. Like I say all the time, you don't have to give me anything. But if you learn something, I should earn something. Okay? And so we have 27 super chats. If we can get to 30, that'll be great. I know it's late, but if you can give me 3 more, I'll be ready to go. Now, that being the case, the black gender war will end when the lovely ladies get some act right and these simps grow a pair and stop enabling the foolishness. Here's what I want you to understand something, baby. Listen to me, brother. Women are never gonna act right. And if you're married to one, if you've been in a relationship long enough, they're always gonna do something you don't like. And they're always gonna be simps. We've had simps before and after. They're always gonna be simps. It's always gonna be men. These you think you got it from nowhere. You don't think your great granddaddy was a simp. You don't think there's simps in every race. People stay together out of necessity. And we're getting back, the environment dictates what people can do. If it's raining and hailing outside, you're going to stay indoors, aren't you? See, the environment is more important as to regulating your behavior. And we're getting to a point where the environment says, you better stay married or you're going to starve. So whether he's a simp and whether she don't act right or not, you're going to be there. Now, if the woman is cooking and cleaning, especially a woman like the little lady is cooking, she's got first crack. Because when men are looking for traditional values in a woman, a clean house and the well-prepared meal is high on the list. So just think about that. I just want you to think about that, guys. I just want you to think about that. I want what's best for black men. And what's best for black men is to be strong men who run their families, who are able to help raise families, who have good women by their side that they can protect and lead and raise children with. Okay, that's what I want. And it behooves me as a person who genuinely cares about black men and is your advocate, but also has tremendous love and appreciation for my own black people, to make sure I educate you on exactly what's coming. You see what I mean? And it's important for me to let black women know, hey, all of this gender war stuff is ginned up. They love you. They love, most of y'all look just like Cooking with Kaya. You got somebody in your family look just like her. And you got all that love she's getting, and all she's doing is putting some mac and cheese together. Shout out to Sophia. Thank you. What a beautiful name. Thank you so much, Sophia. I appreciate you. I was thinking about naming, if I have a little girl, I'm going to name her Sophia. Don't tell nobody. Don't steal my name either. But either way, thank you so much, sweetheart. Depressed 1177. Thank you for the $5 super sticker. TIQS. Let me see here. We got The gender war will end when BWs bring back 22 million black babies that never had a voice to fight. Brother, look, let me tell you something. What's gone is gone. What's past is past. We can rehash that. We can bring it up. But, you know, brother, they could also point out all the black men that were shot and killed by other black men, all the black men and women and children that died because black men sold them dope. We could talk about that too. See, it's enough poop to go around for everybody. You see what I mean? Just because I'm an advocate for black men don't mean I think you're perfect, baby. I love you. Okay? I love you tremendously. I love my brothers. I support my brothers. But at the end of the day, it's enough blame to go around. You see, you probably never thought about what I just told you. What about all the black men we unalived last year in Chicago at the hands of other black men? What about all the mothers that cried for that? All right, what about all the dope we sold in the 1960s, 50s, 60s, 70s? Hell, we uplift dope dealers. We make them our role models. Of course, we're going to have more. They selling heroin and crack and acid and speed and all this other dope, and it's destroying people's lives. Right now, they out there slanging fentanyl. Do you know there was a podcast the other day where one of the biggest drug dealers out of Mexico said all the dope always ends up in the black man's hand. Because that's what the market is. They purposely target black men. And brothers got rich doing. So what are we going to ask our brothers to accept responsibility for their behavior? I'm just asking a question. If we going to blame black women for unaliving black babies, what about the black men that's still out there shooting and unaliving black men? What about the dope dealers? I'm just saying, brother. I'm saying, because see, we can either stay here and keep having this gender war, and we could just throw crap on each other to the end of days. Or we could say, you know what? It's time to put that in the past. I'm just throwing it out there. You ain't got to like what I'm saying. But it's true. Ask yourself that. Just ask yourself that question. Shout out to everybody, man. But thank you so much, TIQS. I love you, brother. Always good to have you here. Johnny Harris, keep preaching the truth. Man, I shall, brother. I can keep going. Penny Ford, I also don't support the feminization of our black men, either less and less men available for us. See, what you got to understand is that also is programming. They're literally programming. Okay, we'll prove this. Something pops up in the socialization, the community. Okay, we'll put him on here. We'll put him on it. And next thing you got 30 or 40 black dudes who are effeminate. And what does that signal out? That means when you see, oh, this is the thing to do. So people get programmed to do that, even though it very well be untrue. It picks up. It catches on. It's an artificial. It's like when they play a song over and over and over again. You might even like the song, but when they keep playing it over and over and over again, then you start learning the lyrics. You start tapping to the beat, and pretty soon you be like, "Oh, that's my song." It's like somebody keep feeding you food that you don't necessarily like as a child, and then when you become an adult, it has some sort of nostalgic appeal to it because you used to eat it when you were a kid, so you love it. You see what I mean? Just think about that. Just think about that, right? So what we need to do is recognize what's happening and then focus on analyzing it and saying, no, that's not what we're going to do, okay? But when we get the family structure back together, when we end this gender war, when we're forced back together, which looks like what's happening, then it probably will. But thank you so much, and welcome to the membership, Penny Ford. Thank you so much. Thank you. Corey Smith, $2. Appreciate you for the $2. Eddie B, I just want to take the opportunity to say thank you for the shows that last week and a half, educational, thought-provoking, and informative. Appreciate the voice that you provide for us, Rational Talk. Here's what you got to understand, man, and thank you so much, brother. A lot of you all don't know me per se. I don't have the numbers that a lot of these YouTubers have, but it's because my numbers aren't fluffed up. The vast majority of the people, shout out to Mr. Solomon too. The vast majority of the people that follow my page are men, black men. So out of almost 75,000 people, you got about 80% black men. Okay. So what that means is I got a football stadium full of dudes that show up on this broadcast every night. And that's a lot. And so this page sets trends. And I know y'all like, I come up with my own content. I don't have sponsors. I don't do any frills. It's just middle-aged Uncle D with a sport coat on and a shirt. That's it. And so people come here because they actually learn something and they take what I say and it migrates all through YouTube. You see what I mean? Because this is all I do for you all. And so, and the other thing is, for the most part, I've been correct. That's the other thing. I told you that this Pookie and Ray Ray war was going to end 4 or 5 years ago. I told you that they were going to start targeting Black women for the criminal justice system, and you see it happening. I told you that the Democrats were using these Black lawyers, Fonnie Willis, Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, as attack dogs, and eventually it was going to fail, and they were going to end up being targeted, and you see it happening. You see, and so people come here because, you know, I've studied history enough, and I've studied a lot of different politics and sociology and the law to tell you how things are going to work. So I appreciate you, brother, for the $20 super chat. And yeah, it's thought provoking, but it's stuff that we all should know, you know. So I'm y'all's little secret, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little dirty little secret. Uncle D, little dirty little Uncle secret. But anyway, yeah, man, you know, thank you so much. Also, we got 32 super chats. Try to get me to 35, baby. Let's try to get to 35. Let's just ease on down there before I finish with this. Be about peace and pleasure. Uncle D, I heard a handful of bar at work verbalize the needs for husbands. They are nice to me. Unfortunately for me, I'm a Muslim. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of women saying they need a husband because they've been tricked and made to believe they didn't need a man, and now they getting older and nobody who wants to work. You really, ladies, y'all really want to work till you 65 or 60, the way things are going, till you 72 years old. So you get out of college at 22 and they want you to work 50 years before you can retire. I want you to think about that. This is what corporate America told you freedom was. You won't even be able to remember your hot girl years by the time you get about 68, 69 years old. You'll be like, oh, Lord, you know what I'm saying? You'll be sitting at the front of the pew. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? It's a trick. And if they can trick you into having children without your husband or without a man, that means you're going to have kids that's going to go off and be off on their own, and you're going to be by yourself without a man, nobody to travel with. When you get 56 years old, and women that you hang out with, that's your girls, they might still roll with you, but you know how it is hanging out with women. You know darn well you don't want to hang out with a bunch of women till you're 75, 80 years old. So you've been tricked, you've been lied, you've been fooled. They able to tax you, they able to use you, they got a compliant workforce. And so, and tricked you into believing that your Black man is your worst enemy. That's what they did. Okay. So, but again, the environment is changing. So here it is. And it's ironically, the political environment changed because of the manosphere and YouTube and men being able to voice their opinion. I am absolutely positive that it has been YouTube and this independent media that has basically become the news source of people around the world. And now mainstream media has become obsolete. So the narrative shift is because people are able to speak from their own houses, from their own cell phones, and it's no longer filtered. And that's filtered out to politics. Well, this is what the people want. Then, well, hell, we'll give them what they want. And now more people are able to communicate. And so this is why we have the shift in politics. I think it's absolutely certain that Donald Trump won this election because of social media. But thank you so much. Gender lock, the gender war will never end unless something like another pandemic happens or something worse that happened towards women. Sounds messed up. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The environment is changing, the financial environment. You can't be independent if you can't eat. Hard to be independent if you don't have a job. Can't be independent if you're homeless. I mean, you could be, but J Lock, the woman said they rather destroy the world if they can't take control. Yeah, that's just folk talking. But anyway, very little anti-gay misandrist male and female drew first blood. No cooperation with black gynocracy in our time. Well, see, the thing is, brother, we got enough simps and enough dudes out there. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do for sex? What are you gonna do for companionship? You gonna play your video games all day? Let's just be realistic. I mean, just keep it 100 with you. You're still a man. You still have urges. You still have needs. You still have needs for companionship. What are you gonna do? Let's be realistic. Let's just be honest with each other. Because I mean, most of y'all ready to fold like a house of cards. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just gonna take the right woman. And that's why when I use that young lady cooking with Kaya, because if she popped up in you all's lives, I don't care who you are, whether you're old, young, you'll be like, it'll definitely make you rethink. Okay, and maybe she's not your type, but something like that. Energetic, feminine, helpful, like cooking and whatnot. You would. Any normal man would. And so, the beliefs that you have are a result of misconceptions about women and about society perpetrated on you or pushed on you by media. That's what I want you to understand. You've been brainwashed. Okay? That's what I need you to understand. And so, you're entitled to believe what you want to believe. Just keep on thinking and let's see what happens. That's all we got to do. We got 34 super chats. Hit the number 1 button if you guys can hear me. And also, let's see, we get to 35. That'll be one more. I'm watching your hair grow this week. I'm watching your hair grow this week and listening to Macho Wisdom. You laid down. I'm going to get a haircut. First of all, don't disrespect my hair like that. Okay? I'm going to get a haircut. I ain't been able to get around there to get my haircut. I've been busy this week. Okay? All right, there's stuff to do, sir. Thank you so much, Johnny Harris. Cody Marshall, he said, the Bible warned us about quarrelsome women. Yeah, but look, bro, let me tell you something. The Bible, they always been here. They're never going anywhere. Men have issues too. We are who we are. We are human beings. We're imperfect creatures, but we still have found a way to get along and make things happen for about the past 10 millennia. Okay? So what we need to do, and I'm just concerned about my little tribe, my little foundational Black American folk, because we've been at the center of this gender war, and we need to go ahead and recognize where it came from, and that it's fading out. So you can put your shields down, okay? I'm just trying to get y'all to put your swords and shields down. You don't have to maintain that posture forever. It's about over, okay? Shout out to Penny Ford. The perfect man has good credit and a heart condition. Oh, see, you just being ugly on the inside. Good credit and a heart condition. You mean you trying to kill him off, girl? Is that what you trying to do? You trying to kill him off? Oh, you mean you keep track of him? You know where he's at. You know where he's gonna be. He's gonna need them pills. So you gonna know where he's gonna be. You funny. Shout out to you, Penny Ford. Thank you so much. I think she's over in Germany. Liliana McDonald. Let's see here. Gifted 1 Dennis Burley podcast. Man, I need like 13 more super podcast memberships, man. Y'all do that for me, man. Y'all join the membership. TW, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Also, Penny Ford, where you get them cookies from? My old lady made them cookies. That's right. I got a whole. Let me see if I take a picture. Boy, let me show you these cookies. And my kids ain't here either, so I get to eat all them cookies by myself. Let me show you a picture. I got my own little lady up in here to cook for me all the time. That's why I be around here. I don't go nowhere. I don't do nothing. You hear me? Let me see if I can find these cookies. These cookies are delicious. Do you hear me? They are the most delicious cookies. She makes oatmeal cookies for me, and she makes chocolate chip cookies. Look at that. Look at this. I'm gonna let y'all see myself. This is what look at these cookies. Look at that. Boy, look at these cookies. You see that, girl? Man, every time I walk past that little chair, I get me some of these cookies. Look at that. Yeah, buddy. Let me get one before I'm gonna get another one of them cookies now that you bring it up. That's where I got them cookies from. Penny Ford. Anyway, thank you so much. You heard me see a Bogan song. Look it up when she talked that nasty talk. Yeah. Eddie B, thank you so much. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Shout out to Eddie B. Sorry, that played on landed. She's cooking. Yeah, man, she was cooking it up. Let me go on here. Since we got her on our mind, we're gonna read this. This is what y'all came here for. The little lady is out here doing. I heard she got a little cooking show popping. She's gonna be having a little cooking show.
Welcome to another video.
Yeah, cooking with Kaya. Look at that. Boy, I know why she got everybody mad. I know why she got everybody mad. Look at it. But anyway, man, let me get back to my guys. Blizzard King, you're on the job. I'm on my job. I'm working, man. We got 35 super chats. Let's see if we can get to 40. I'm almost finished, but let's see if we can get to 40. Black men have always loved natural fit black women. Remember Brandy, Monica, Aaliyah, TLC, no enhancements, all God-given. Yeah, but they've been brainwashed. Black women and black men have been brainwashed to believe they like other than what they like. That's what's so cold about it, man. That's crazy. You know, this mental, and you know, we're getting out of it, okay? But because we have to. Black women have too many children by different men for marriage to work unless they marry their baby daddy. Most men want to be a stepdaddy. Okay, that's true. But sometimes you don't get what you want. Okay, let me just explain something to you, fella. I want y'all to hear me. Okay, sometimes you don't get what you want. Okay,
the one thing
sometimes you got to do what you got to do. All right. Now, the question you should be asking yourself is there something that I could do or this woman could do to make herself more appealing to me? So that's what you need to ask yourself. Because what's going to happen is, if we look back in the history, my grandmother had 3 kids by 2 different men, 2 different husbands she had when she married my granddaddy, and then she ended up having 8 kids by him. So this is nothing new. You understand what I'm saying? It's nothing new. Of course, nobody wants to play stepdaddy. Men don't want to marry women with debt. I ain't want to marry a woman with a dog. I don't want to take care of a goddamn dog. I want your damn dog in my house. Okay? But you know, you have to be a mature person and think about things. Look, you don't have to like it. You think all the women want you? I'm just saying. Just think about it. You don't think you have some shortcomings that women have to look over to be with you? Maybe you're too short. Maybe you don't have the physique she wants. Maybe you don't have the money she wants. Maybe you got poor socialization skills. I'm just saying, are we going to be alone because the woman that you would be with has 2 kids? Maybe so. That's your choice. I'm just saying, okay? It's not something that has never been done before in the black community. I'm not telling you what to do. I don't give relationship advice. What I'm telling you is that the environment is changing and that black people need to chill on this gender war, and we can go back and forth and we can keep on clowning each other and disrespecting each other, and all that's going to happen is the people who have traditionally pitted us against each other for their own benefit are going to use that to continue to keep us down, and we have a lot to lose. That's all I'm saying. Not telling you what to do. Not at all. Not even telling you who to date. I just wanted to point that out to you. But anyway, shout out to Johnny Harris. Thank you so much, Devin Mitchell. Good question. Yeah, excellent. Thank you, Uncle D, for common sense. Yeah, thank you too. Penny Forsyth, I'm a boomer. We all remember Shaka Khan was the first BW with her belly out. Yeah, I feel for you. Yeah, and I think I love. I feel for you. I remember when she was singing the hook to that break. Remember break dance and pop locker? Turbo, electric boogaloo, and she was singing the song. I feel Uncle D used to be a pop locker back in the day. Not now. Not now. Yeah, man, Shaka Khan, she's a beautiful woman, man. She expressed her blackness in her beauty, man. She didn't hold back. My man Lavelle, you already see L's coming back to today. You already see L's coming back to date men. Yeah, they got to do what they got to do. Ben Cisco said, fit, feminine, friendly, and childish. Yeah, that's a great goal to have, man. It's a great goal to have. That is definitely premium quality woman these days. We got 35 super chats. If y'all can give me the 40, that's cool, man. But if not, man, if you didn't learn, that's cool. I ain't about to trip on it. But I want to get through this, and then I'm gonna finish up here. Nothing but facts were spoken tonight. We need unity. We do. And actually, unity is going to be foisted upon us. It's going to be forced upon us because of the environment. You're going to have a lot of women who are going to come back and say, yeah, all right, okay, where's Mervin? Let me call Mervin. My man Malik Quilly, I can't say that. I don't want to mess that up. It's the gang culture. You know how that is, being from LA, contagious. Yeah, exactly. People just follow the herd. Love the deletion of black men to remind us, brothers, of the blame on both sides. Yeah, man, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Also, we need to bring black love, heal for our families, community, lift up our young ones with needs. We need each other now more. Yeah, do we really want our children growing up thinking that black men and black women hate each other? The brother said something earlier. Is this really what we want to do to the next generation? Is that something we should be proud of? Uncle D, have Kaya make you a plate, brother. I bet not. I bet not. I got a whole old lady up in here. I got a whole wife. I ain't about to. You know, I'm not. I got my own cookies. My lady cook good. You hear me? I be eating good. I be eating good, living. I'm happy. I'm good. I ain't gonna mess up my thing. But you ugly up in there for saying that, Jim. You ain't about to have me out here messing up my thing. Shout out to Jim. Penny Ford said, back in the day, the only options women have to comb your hair, learn to cook, and find a good man. That's right. That's right. Eddie B. Kaya says, hey, D, no haircut is needed, especially when I'm cooking. Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. All right. Look, man. I'm not about to keep this going too much longer. But let me go and give you this blistering closing statement. Okay. Let's talk it out, right? So less GloRilla, more cooking with Kaya, no more gender war. That's what this is really about. It's about the environment changing because of the politics and what's going on. Okay. Now, one thing is clear. All right. Black men have always been the primary target of this system. We've been criminalized. We've been incarcerated, systematically removed from our homes and communities for decades. And now the stakes are even higher because the number one person that suffered because of that were black women and the children that these men left behind. Never forget that. Okay. All right. And under the current administration, right, the deals have been struck with countries like El Salvador and Panama and other Central American nations. They've been willing. They say they're going to accept foreign-born immigrants, but they'll also accept American citizens who are incarcerated. So what does that mean, brothers? This is the current generation. This is the current political scene we in. Look how extreme that is. That's probably a violation of the 8th Amendment. They don't even care. What about the black men serving time in federal prisons who could be shipped overseas and stripped of their rights, cut off from their families, and basically buried alive in a foreign prison? We've seen this playbook before, haven't we? Right? In the 1980s and 1990s, the war on drugs, black men were locked up in record numbers under harsh drug sentencing laws while the government pumped crack into the neighborhoods. 3-strike laws and mandatory minimum sentences. That ensured that even minor offenses led to life sentences. So by the 2000s, 1 in 3 black men had some sort of entanglement with the criminal justice system. Then by the 2000s, this whole deadbeat dad narrative popped up. You got family courts and systems being weaponized against black fathers, truly all fathers, but specifically black fathers, stripping them of their parental rights and branding them as failures. Child support laws were designed not to help families, but to destroy them. And it making it financially impossible for Black men to stay afloat. Now we're in a situation where we're dealing with these mass deportations and criminalizations. They talking about sending Americans. They might not be able to send them to El Salvador or Panama because those are foreign countries, but they certainly can send some prisoners to Guantanamo Bay. Can you imagine that? Your loved one who's been locked up or just got locked up for a few years, they send him down to Gitmo down in Cuba. See, these expanded incarceration efforts, once they finish with these criminal aliens, they're gonna work on these American criminals. See, they're using this rising Latino gang activity to justify sweeping and it'll eventually start cracking down on Black men. Now, according to the U.S. Bureau of Justice Statistics, Black men are still incarcerated at a higher rate, nearly 6 times that than white men, despite committing crimes of similar rates. And now, under these new legal agreements, you risk the chance of having incarcerated Black men could be sent to foreign prisons like El Salvador, Panama, where they have no protections, no appeals, and no way out. You can't even get down there. Okay? And if that's illegal under the 8th Amendment or whatever, look, what about Guantanamo Bay? It's like the ultimate graveyard for Black men. Guantanamo Bay, they can house 30,000 inmates. That would make it one of the largest penitentiaries in the U.S. under U.S. control. And there are literally ongoing discussions to expand its role in housing prisoners. So let me paint a picture for you all. Once you sit down to Guantanamo, you have no rights. You're held there indefinitely under federal jurisdiction, okay? Now, the 8th Amendment protects against cruel and unusual punishment, but it probably doesn't apply to a federal facility under American control. You're not going to get an attorney. Maybe you get a Zoom lawyer. Your family's definitely not coming to Guantanamo Bay to visit you. You probably don't have any hope of release. And then guess what? The world is going to forget about you. You're locked away in a system that does not care whether you live or die, and the prison conditions are some of the worst on the planet. If you think Rikers Island is bad, wait until you see a Marine military-controlled Black site, right? Now let's talk about El Salvador. President Bukele has already made it clear that once you're in their system, you will never leave. And El Salvador's prisons are designed to be human warehouses. They hold tens of thousands of inmates in brutal conditions. And once you sit there, your chances of survival are slim. So to my young Black brothers, right, who are involved in gangs and violence and criminal activity, I want you to listen. See that unalived, that charge, that red rum charge, that can mean life in prison. Not in America, but in a foreign country. Well, you will never see your family again. If you caught up in the system, you could be deported to El Salvador, locked in a concrete box with limited food, limited medical service, and no way out. If you're involved in criminal activity, if you're giving this system the perfect excuse to erase you from history, then it might. And don't think it only applies to these immigrants. This applies. They will definitely make you, as a Black man, the primary candidate. Let's be clear. The government is already doing this to immigrants. It's sending foreign-born gang members and innocent African people who have done nothing but show up to the country illegally. So I guess they're not in it. But they send in Jamaicans and Haitians, and they send them to Central American prisons. They send a bunch of Africans to Panama. You think they're only going to do it to Latinos now? After they finish targeting them, they'll come back around to us. Because remember, We're not next, we were first. So this is no longer just about making choices. This is about survival. Okay? The days of that gang culture and all that sort of stuff, and there's probably not going to be any second chances, and the laws are changing and the prisons are expanding. It's not a game, it's not a joke. All right? And this is my warning to you. Now, that being the case, Black people, we have to unite or we will be erased. And this gender war is a distraction. While we're here fighting each other, the system is preparing to do to Black men and Black boys and Black women what it has always done: lock them up, destroy their lives, and leave Black women to suffer alone. If you are a Black woman and you understand this, okay, the men who are supposed to protect and provide you are being erased. The system is targeting your fathers, your sons, your brothers, everybody you love. Okay? So it's time for that division to end, this artificial division. It's time for unity. It's time for us to change today. Look, there's two choices that we have. All right? We can keep fighting each other over and over again on the internet, right? We can just talk about each other back and forth on the internet as Black folk. We can just keep doing it, okay? We can keep blaming each other and watching our communities destroyed, okay? We can do that. Or we can wake up, we can come together, and we can fight for our survival as a unified force. I tell you, brothers, leave these streets alone, because the consequences are no longer just prison. They're exile, abandonment, and destruction. Black women, stop being distracted by this gender war. Stop getting baited into that fight. Yeah, it might have been somebody that hurt your feelings, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. But now it's too much on the line. Your men are going to be targeted. And when they're gone, you'll be next. But recognize that this system has always used division to destroy us. It's time to stop playing that game. We need to prioritize our lives, our families, and our futures. And that time is now. We need to stand together. Look, let me make this clear. For everybody listening, there's a reason why foundational Black American people are minding our business. It's a reason why we're resting. It's a reason why we're not falling for the latest round of political upheaval. We're not throwing ourselves into another battle that doesn't serve us, and we're not going to be used as cannon fodder. See, we refuse to play along. We are resting. And what they're trying to do to get us off the bench, to get us out of our hammocks, right? They're going to resort to the oldest trick in the book, turning Black men and Black women against each other. They're going to push the narrative that Black men are somehow keeping Black women from whatever. Black men are not doing something. They're going to manufacture division and kick up the animosity. But see, here's the truth. They don't want you to focus. They don't want you to focus on Black men and Black women, on the fact that we're actually on the same page. I told you this before. I'm going to tell you it again. 86% of Black men voted for Kamala Harris in 2024. That's more than any other group. There's no major ideological split between us, Black men and Black women. We are not at war. So why the sudden push to try to get us up to the front? Why? And since we said we're resting, why are they now trying to get us divided? Because they need us to fight each other to keep us from realizing our real power. This isn't new, this divide and conquer thing. They've always used division to weaken us. After slavery, they convinced Black women that Black men were irresponsible and dangerous so they could justify mass incarceration and targeting us and bringing us into the prison system. They did that. During the Civil Rights Movement, they told Black women that Black men were holding them back, and that this magical Black patriarchy somehow was oppressing black women the same way white men oppressed white women. Even though we were fighting the same battle against white supremacy, that managed to convince black women to go run and help white women get their freedom and their rights. In the 1980s and 1990s, they weaponized welfare policies and family courts to separate black men from their households, brainwashing you into believing that black men ain't nothing, they deadbeat daddies, they don't love their kids, and they don't love you. That's what they did. And now, because we're united in our decision to sit this round out, they're about to start trying to create this fake gender war. They'll kick it up again to weaken our collective stance. They're scrambling because we're no longer playing their game. We have reached a certain level of political sophistication, and we good. See, if we fought each other, they wouldn't have to work so hard to control us. They can give you a little bit and give you a little, give him a little bit, give him, and they could control us like that. If we blame each other, we wouldn't look at the real problem. And the system that has always manipulated, used us and discarded us. But see, I think we see the play now. I think we know what happens next. And so now they're desperate for black bodies to be on the front lines. The truth is the political establishment is panicking, okay? Especially the Democrats who've had control of us for so long. They see black people who have historically been their backbone, hell, the backbone of every major movement in this country, are no longer rushing to the front lines to fight battles that don't serve us. You don't see any black outrage. You don't see much black activism. You see a couple of old politicians out there. Yeah, let me tell your name. Hey, you see a couple of that. But you don't see black bodies in the street. We're not showing up. They tried shaming us and they said, unity. We've always been there for you. It didn't work. They tried guilt tripping us. We ignored it. We rested. Next up, they're going to try to make it seem like black men are the problem, hoping that black women will rise up just to spite black men. But that's a setup. They're going to try to use that old gender war that they manufactured in some kind of way, make it seem like black men are the fault. That's a setup. But see, again, the reality is this. The reason black women aren't in the streets isn't because of black men. It's because black people collectively, foundational black American people, are choosing to step back from a system that has used us for centuries. We have watched as others benefited from our struggles while leaving us behind. We've seen the government hand out policies to every other group while continuing to ignore foundational black American issues. We are tired of being the permanent whipping boy and underclass, and then turn around and expect to fight while everybody else reaps the reward. This is not about division between black men and black women. This is about black people as a whole realizing that we no longer have to be pawns. So let them talk. Let them push the false narratives, because we know the truth. We're finally moving in the unit, and that's what truly scares them. The era of manipulating black people is over. We're thinking for ourselves, we're moving strategically, and we're choosing unity over division. That's a real power play. And they can't stand it. This is Uncle D. I love you all. God bless y'all. I hope y'all had a good time with me tonight on this adventure. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, hit the #1 button. And I appreciate everybody who learned something today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shout out to all the folks, and big shout out to that young lady cooking with Kai. Shout out to the other little lady, GloRilla. She got some catchy beats. But nevertheless, this is Uncle D. I love you guys. And as I always said this time, I am out.
Dennis Sperling.
In the city where the lights don't sleep, Uncle D got the vibe so deep, representing men strong and free. Dennis Pearl is the king of the spree. In the streets where the rhythm flows, black men rising, that's how it goes. Uncle D got the truth to show. In his heart, that's where the fire glows. Late night tuning, light up the stream. Dennis Pearl and wisdom gleam. Voices whisper truth and insight. In his podcast, feel the light. Harmony in every room. Truth and laughter you've heard. Well, that's alright. Wave after wave of smooth delight. Dennis brings the dark to light. Masculinity, baby! Share the tales unfold. Stories pour like morning gold. Feeling the wisdom inside me. Subscribe and like time after time.
Black men, I want to salute you. Your incarceration rate is down. The education rate is up. We went from, we are doing great for ourselves. So you should salute yourself. Shout out to all the brothers out there, whether you're a truck driver or engineer, whether you're an electrician or garbage man, a doctor, a lawyer. If you're a hard-working brother, if you fresh out the penitentiary, but you on your grind and you doing it legal and you trying to make amends for yourself, man, I salute you too, brothers. God bless you. This is Uncle D, and you know, I'm out.